Looks like Iman Danish has had a fantastic start there. He's managed to jump the field there. Mika Hakimi is also trying to hang on tight through there, going through the first few corners there. It looks like they've managed to spread themselves out just enough, but further back I'm sure we're seeing a lot of action. Let's have a look at the driver cam of Muhammad Taki.
The midfield battle is actually a real battle, guys. Now Kevin seeing Muhammad Taki and Ayman Haziq, and also in front of them is Shami Azri.
Hard on the throttle here. This is going to be desperation hour right now. Iman Danish hard on the brakes there. They're going to go side by side. They touch, and Iman Danish is off. He's off the track there, and he's dropped down to 4th place to 5th place. That's unbelievable stuff there right now. Mika Hakimi trying his hardest to go up through Canada corner there, and Muhammad Taki, it looks like they had a bit of a contact there, but it looks like Mika Hakimi might be able to get himself across the finish line there in 1st position. They're going to go 3 wide underneath the Corvette bridge, and it looks like the 2 Hyperboost cars have managed to mug James Russell coming out of the corner there. Not too sure what happened to James there at the start of the race, but it looks like he's had a real race of ups and downs there. We have here a genuine 3-way battle of grenades.
Yeah, I just want to say that.
Let's see if he can get ahead of Shami Aizan through the corner there. They're going to go side by side. Hard on the throttle now. It's going to be a drag race down to turn 2, and it looks like a bit of a twitch there from Shami Aizan, who's given that bit more pace to Han An. Hard on the brakes again, and it looks like Han An with a majestic move around the outside of Shami Aizan has managed to claim 2nd position. It's definitely redemption time there for James Russell taking home the win in 1st place. Han An in 2nd place, and Shami Aizan decides to take it home in 3rd position. That was a real drag race up to the top of the hill. I did call it.
LamboPlace.
Sedap pergi dia. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to the Trumpet International Racing E-Series. We're at the sandbanks and sand dunes of Zandvoort now for what's going to be a very, very exciting race tonight. Pro Class and Am coming at you live here on Adrenaline Impact. My name is Max Palmer. In the studio with me is Encik Budi. Apa khabar?
I'm good, Max. So tonight, Zandvoort gonna be a big and epic fight, Max.
Absolutely. One of the trickiest tracks in iRacing is going to be a real challenge for the drivers to really take control of the situation. Very narrow in some places, very tricky in a lot of other places as well. But fantastic track. It has held the Dutch Grand Prix since the 60s with a little bit of a 20-year gap. But it's back now, running F1. It's run GT3 racing, it's run the Formula 3 Masters Championship, and it's a very, very big race indeed. Speaking of which, just before we start with the pre-game announcements there, do leave a comment down below. We will be able to try and read some of our favorite comments there. We've got our director Umar Aziz on the hotkey tonight, so don't be afraid. Do leave a comment down below. You'll be able to chat with some of the drivers in the categories that aren't racing at the very moment there, and we can also see some of these comments pop up there, so do leave a comment down below, and while you're down there, hit that like button and share that sim racing love around, why don't you?
You know what people say? Like itu gratis, comment itu gratis.
Yes.
Share juga gratis, guys. Jadi nggak perlu susah-susah, nggak perlu repot-repot.
Interestingly enough, gratis comes from Dutch.
Oh, okay. No, it's actually Dutch.
And we are in the Netherlands. For those of you who've just joined us, of course, we have to have a special thanks, of course, to all of our sponsors as well. A special thanks goes out to our main sponsors, LamboPlace, with their 5G guarantee. You won't go too far wrong. I'll try that again. I'll put my teeth back in. But of course, with guaranteed genuine products and a fantastic deal later on. Remember, you can still save up to 12 ringgit on any purchase over 40 ringgit.
Yes,
so
correct.
do wait for that code as it comes up in the feed there. So thanks a lot to LamboPlace. Also thanks to our co-sponsors Stratus and Excitix. This event proudly organized by Trumpet, Adrenaline Impact and Vertex Esports, and a special thanks to all of our media partners, Drive Safe and Fast and Galeri Kereta. A lot of viewers from Galeri Kereta tonight.
Yeah, Max, Galeri Kereta and Drive and Safe, both are very good media, I would say.
Absolutely, they've been a massive help in bringing the sim racing love around there. So siapa-siapa daripada Galeri Kereta pun boleh komen juga.
Betul, kita boleh baca duduk. Semua yang mana kita cross post, kita ada Galeri Kereta, kita ada Drive Fast and Safe, Drive Safe and Fast.
Drive Safe and Fast.
Yes, kita ada Vertex dan kita juga ada di Adrenaline Impact. Jadi semua komen, tak kira dekat YouTube ke, dekat Facebook ke, kita boleh baca.
Yeah, that's it, right. From all of our cross postings and all of our channels on Facebook and YouTube, we'll be able to read those comments. So don't be afraid and leave those comments down below there. But there we have it. Now we're over to the event right now, and onto the track right now. Absolutely fantastic track this. Zandvoort, very narrow in some places though. I think this is the big talking point we had speaking about it since the last broadcast. That first corner is going to be quite tricky. Shivlak at the very top of the track there, and a couple of the chicanes there, really difficult to overtake.
Well, Max, from what I see, Max, the first corner, the first turn is actually where a lot of overtake will take place. And then this track is actually the most technical track that we have in this category, I think, in this season.
Absolutely.
Because we have first few tracks, we have a very high speed track, and this is a very technical track.
Yeah, the speeds are a lot lower, but there's a lot more objects in the way. Let's just put it like that. And Umar Aziz there just saying that Mika, I believe, is currently quickest man out there in practice, with Ayman Hazik in second place, and Muhammad Taki, our guest from the previous post-race show, is in third position right now, but the speeds are definitely creeping up there at Zandvoort. And there's only 5 minutes left in practice, so we'll bring you straight to the action once qualifying starts. But first, let's have a look at the standings for the pro categories. Absolutely fantastic stuff there for Mika Hakimi, who right now takes the lead of the championship with 60 points. Kavinder Singh there with 48 points. But Kavinder Singh, he has, well, two big problems. One problem, a real challenging time trying to catch Mika Hakimi, as he mentioned in his entertaining interview that he was finding it a little bit hard. But we think he might be able to do it, especially around a track like this. Zandvoort, very well known to a lot of the guys who are sort of old school old school iRacing drivers.
And well, Zandvoort is also known for a very competitive GT3 scene.
Yes.
Especially in iRacing.
Yes, absolutely. But of course, we have Kavinder Singh has quite a bit of pressure from behind because he's only 1 point ahead from Shami Azri, and Mohammad Taki not too far away either. So the top 4 here still with a mathematical chance of winning the championship. The top 3 still definitely in it, in with a chance right now. So it's going to be quite interesting to see that Mika Hakimi can make his life a lot easier if he can win this race, but it's still all to play for, and I think this is going to be a real turning point in the championship.
In this pro category, Max, actually, Mika Hakimi, Kavinder Singh, Shami Azri and Taki have shown a very good composure throughout the whole race. You know, the first round, second round and third round, they are absolutely what we call that, some kind of very confident and very calm and just I need to survive. That is what they mentioned.
Yeah, but there's some pretty quick drivers further back. Of course, we have Iman Danish, who almost took home that podium position. He almost got the win there in the final round. He's going to be quick, I think, around Zandvoort. He likes the track. We know he does well around here. And of course, we have Simon Sanchez from Macau, Avila Baha from Indonesia, and Jay Wong from Singapore, who is quite a quick sort of Corsa driver who's moved into iRacing recently. And that's going to be quite interesting to see how he gets along there. I think Zandvoort's going to be the real biggest test for Jay Wong in terms of making that switch.
Yeah. Zandvoort with a GT3 car. Well, basically it's a very good combination. But in terms of how technical is this, Zandvoort is a very technical track. GT3 car is also quite a technical car to drive. You know, it's really tricky when you want to brake, when you want to push your gas. What is the point that you want to go further? It's really hard especially in Zandvoort.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're running a rear-engine Porsche around here. Everyone of our drivers in the Pro Class category competing for 6,000 ringgit in prize pool, and they're all driving identical Porsche 911 GT3, FIA GT3 spec cars. And those are, I think, of all the GT3 cars, the most sideways of the bunch, shall we say. They do have a well-known habit of getting a little bit sideways around Zandvoort here, so I think we're going to see a lot of really nice driving.
It's really good to see these kind of cars and these kind of tracks in this scenario right now. We have a very professional kind of race last round, so we hope to see the same kind of professional and the same kind of fighting spirit, Max, for tonight.
Absolutely, and I think we will. Before we head off over to the track right now, I believe they are just about warming up and heading out to qualifying. Just a reminder, we are also live on YouTube as well. So for those of you who want the full-on cinematic experience in your home theater systems or on your smart TVs, you can head on over to YouTube and look us up.
Yeah, you want to see, you want to feel like watching an IMSA on ESPN. Well, here you go. You're watching an iRacing and Energy Impact with me and Max.
Yeah.
But not in ESPN lah. In YouTube.
Vino Sebastian, thank you for the thumbs up there. Much appreciated. Right now, there's quite a few guys out there. We see Miles Shinoda saying Max Power. And SM Hobbies, this is Shukran, one of our drivers, saying Mari berzambut, let's do 3 wide all the way. Well, I applaud Shukran's, how should we say? His braveness. His bravery is to be applauded there. I think the TCR race, by the way, I think this is going to be one of the most exciting and the most entertaining races you're going to find. But first of all, we're going to have the 1 hour long pro race and then the 45-minute TCR AM race coming up. But pretty soon, we will be heading off to the track. In a few moments' time there.
Yeah, they are still practicing, and You know, after practice, then we have the qualifying session. So we're
Absolutely.
still waiting for them to go to the qualifying session.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the first race tonight, Max?
It's going to be really tricky because, like I said, with the Porsches, the main trick with them is that they are slightly imbalanced in comparison to a mid-engine car. The tail end does want to come around a little bit on the Porsche. You're going to see a lot of tail slides coming out of some of the corners there, especially when the tires are cold. So the start of the race is going to be critical. If the drivers can actually pull off a good start, like we saw with Iman Danish, who managed to pull off a brilliant start and string the field out, you're going to have a nice clean first lap. But if some of the drivers further behind manage to get the jump on Iman or on whoever the pole position man is, I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks coming into turn one.
Yeah. And on GT3 cars, it has a lot of aerodynamic dependence. So this track going to be a very hard track for them.
Absolutely. This is Circuit Park Zandvoort, 4.25 kilometers long, set in the sand dunes, the naturally occurring sand dunes in the Zandvoort National Park there. 23 degrees Celsius weather temperature. It's a little bit on the cooler side, so it's going to be even more important to get your tires up to temperature quickly and efficiently coming around here. But of course, first up, we're going to have a look at the qualifying session as it begins.
So here we have from Blue Steel Racing. I think this is Ayman Haziq by the number 47. Blue Steel Racing, we have an announcement for them last Tuesday, Max.
Yeah.
Blue Steel Racing has another driver signing up for them in the AM categories.
Absolutely. Han An will be joining Blue Steel Racing and will be joining Ayman Haziq as he comes around the first corner there. That is the Tarzan Boch or Tarzan corner. A very, very tricky section. Going through here, you notice how much the track narrows down as you go through this banked corner here. This left-hander comes up to a section called the Rob Slottermacher corners here. And coming up through the top here, you're going to go and clip the apex on the inside and down in towards Shivlat. Downhill, it tightens up at the end and then it goes uphill again. So if you have any balance problems with your car, you're going to have some real challenges here. This is where the new track begins. We turn off from the old 6 kilometer long track and onto the 4.5 kilometer long track here. Very, very twisty here. This was designed for Formula 3 cars. This is when Zandvoort became the home of Formula 3, the masters of Formula 3. Coming through that tight, twisty S's here, coming down towards what can be said to be the hardest part of the track. You have to be braking pretty much in a straight line here, commit to the curb on the inside, and hope you don't go too far wide because the gravel starts right at the edge of the road on both sides of the track here. Now coming up to the Ari Lyondijk bend, this is the bend that they've turned into a banking, rather aptly enough, named after the Indy 500 championship that hails from this area in the Netherlands. Ari Lyondijk there, and coming across the line. I have to say, it has a flow all of its own. It's very technical, very twisty, not so fast in terms of speed, but as you can see there, very narrow in some places and very, very technical.
Well, Max, it's a very good technical track that we want to learn. You know, if you get the whole idea of how technical this track is, you might have no issue racing in some technical second sector, third sector track.
Yeah.
You know, because the flow of this track and the narrow, the width change of the track is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good experience, especially when you are in this kind of competition. You have the adrenaline, you have the different kind of mental pace, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're having a look at Tinku Ezan. It just brought to my attention there. Mika Hakimi now on provisional pole position. It's only their first laps right now. 134.007. M is calling. Coming through the corners there. It looks like he just lost a bit of time there going through with his second lap. But 134.007, 4/10 quicker than Ayman Haziq. Ayman Haziq is not a slow driver, especially in qualifying trim there. Let's have a look and see what Tinku Ezan does as he comes around the line here. But I think the lap times here are going to be fairly close. We already have 134s in the top three there, and I'm sure Taki and Balvinder Singh will be able to improve their lap time. So I think we're going to have a very close top of the grid.
Yeah, Max, 134 138.007. The low 134 is actually quick on this track. I bet that he will manage to get 133, but it depends on how hard he want to push his car. And this is a qualifying pace, It's different when you are qualifying and when you are racing. You have a different kind of mindset, different kind of setup, and so on.
And would you look at that, Jay Wong goes 134.330. He was about to go quicker, but spun it at turn 1. But that was an amazing lap time there from Jay Wong, 134.330. We saw him go quicker and quicker and quicker, and he's able to improve on his lap time. Another person that will be able to improve on his lap time there, Jay Chong, not quite able to improve there, but Shami Azri is going to, I think, go quicker here. But will it be quick enough for pole position? Coming around the Irie Lyondike bend and on to the start-finish straight, one of the shortest start-finish straights in the Grand Prix calendar. Coming across the line, let's see what he does. Second again, 134.011, only 100th, half, 5 thousandths of a second difference between Mika Hakimi and Shami Azri there, managing to get himself up onto the front row of the grid. Meanwhile, Mika Hakimi, he wants to improve. He wants to try and get that pole position back. Coming down towards the first corner here, let's have a ride along with Mika Hakimi here, who's trying to improve his lap time. Look, using a lot of the curves there. He's very aggressive. You can see the focus and determination on his face there. He's definitely got the correct amount of contempt for the curbs here at Zandvoort. But the interesting part here for me is let's just sit back in silence and see and hear him go through Slottermarker and into Schifla. Absolutely flat out, ladies and gentlemen.
He didn't even release his gas.
It's nothing.
I'm gonna commit to this, and that's what happened. So Mika Hakimi, one of the fastest driver we have in this championship.
Indeed, and you can see why. Absolute determination, but of course the fast bits are about bravery. These slow sections are where you really gain a lot of time here, and you can see he's got his early exit sorted out. He's V'ing the corner. That means he's driving into the apex, rotating the car when he's halfway through the corner, and then trying to straighten the car up as much as possible on the way out. And that might be the trick to getting a good lap time in this Porsche here, because as you can see, it takes a lot of steering angle to get the Porsche around some of these curves. On the slower corners, you're going to find quite a bit of understeer in the Porsche, but on the faster corners, you're going to start seeing that transition from understeer into oversteer. You're never really quite neutral steering a Porsche around here. Any Porsche, in fact.
Yeah, and we see there's a lot of like a very big kind of corner. What time that he make?
Whoa!
What? I've seen it before.
Wow, unbelievable.
133.718. That was fast, bro.
That was an incredible lap time. That was 0.3 of a second faster than his previous effort. So Mika Hakimi now the first man into the 133s, and he skipped right into the mid 133s there. Of course, we still have Iman Danish out there. 8 minutes have passed in this qualifying session, and so far the standings are Mika Hakimi in provisional pole position, Shami Azri alongside him in second place, Iman Danish is in third, followed by Jay Wong in fourth, Ayman Hazik in fifth, followed by Jay Chong, Kelvinder Singh, Mohamed Taki, Simon Sanchez, and Pagvinder Singh aka Roy Charles in 10th place.
With that time, Max, Mika Hakimi will smile like there is no tomorrow.
Unbelievable stuff indeed. So now let's have a look here. We see that Iman Danish is going in, but meanwhile there is your code. Get 12 ringgit off with a minimum purchase of $40 by clicking on the link to shop at and using the code LBPER12 from the 25th of March to the 29th of April 2022. Limited to the first 500 peeps. So ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Go down to that link below for a fantastic deal from our friends at LamboPlace.
Don't forget, you guys, if you guys have any support to your favorite driver, just comment down below and we will let them know.
Absolutely. And while you're down there in the comment section, do hit that like button and spread that sim racing love around. Share it to your neighbors, share it to your family members, share it to your uncles and aunts, and to that one guy you know that's really into cars. I bet he'll love this stuff.
I agree with you, Max. Even though it's virtual, it's still racing.
Absolutely. The competition levels are just about as high as what you'd find at Sepang on any given Sunday. Really brilliant stuff indeed. And these are drivers using real-life driving techniques to drive these sim cars around. So these drivers definitely can, I think, and have been shown to be able to do quite well on the track. For instance, Ivan Danish comes from the world of sim racing. Still a teenager, I believe he's only 15 or 16.
16, I think.
16 this year.
Yeah.
I do apologize, Ivan, I keep underaging you. But he's also done his first time attack event at the elite circuit here, and I believe he got a podium in class. So
Yeah.
that just goes to show, first time driving a manual car, and he managed to get a podium in his class there. So that just goes to show the level of realism and the level of driving skill required to be quick. This is like karting. This is almost like that. You can use this as a pathway, or you can also use this as a career in and of itself. Isaac Yo says Mika Hakimi, the GOAT. Definitely I can't stop raving about that lap time. 133.718. Amazing stuff.
There you go, Jay Wong.
Wow.
another record from Jay Wong, 134.186 second. That also was Jay Wong was actually known for being fast in Excitix in AC, and when he transitioned to iRacing, he managed to pull a pro category kind of driving.
Absolutely. The lap time he pulled off in the MX-5s during the season qualifying sessions, unbelievable stuff there. But also the racecraft, we have seen mistakes, but they're not as big as what we thought, to be honest. Meanwhile, that's Afik Fadlan on the camera right now, wearing the Vertex Esports t-shirt, repping it. Thank you so much. We'll rep Hyperballs there. Afik Fadlan, one of the OG members of Hyperballs there. And of course, now you're seeing him, you must be wondering what is on his face.
Oh, that was actually an Oculus Oculus Quest.
Yeah.
That was Quest 2, I think. And it is a really, really stunning setup from Afik Fadlan. He has a very good setup, Max.
Absolutely.
One of our like this is our dream setup, something like that.
Absolutely. So for those of you who don't know what an Oculus setup is, it's a virtual reality headset. So wherever Afik is pointing his head, up, down, left or right, he will be able to see that same point of view inside the car. So it would be as if he was sitting in the car itself. He's got a proper motorsports level steering wheel. That would be something that I would quite happily run in a GT car in real life, and his pedal setup is quite nice as well. So he's got all the gear as well, and trust me, he has a very good idea of how to use it. He might not be the quickest in terms of one lap pace, but his strength has always been in the long run races, and I think he is very well suited to the pro class category, to the 1 hour races and the GT3 Porsche.
Yeah, Max, he is well known for doing endurance, like long kind of race, maybe 3 hours per stint, at least 1.5 hours per stint, and he is doing it great. And he is one of the, I would say, one of the, what we say that, a master for, what is his team? Hyperbulls. Yeah, Hyperbulls. He's one of the coach there.
Yeah. So brilliant stuff indeed, and it's fantastic and fascinating to be able to actually jump in there and see with our own eyes the equipment that they're using. But I mean, I must admit, I've only ever used VR headsets a few times, but when you get used to it, it's incredible the amount of detail, the ability to see. It's pretty much like using this camera angle. You can see everything in comparison to just a screen.
Well, Max, I use VR personally for my setup, and it's really different when you switch from triple screen to VR, and then from VR or to single screen. It's way different. You have a very good understanding on how fast you are going. You have a very good understanding on who's your left, who's your right. Things like that helps a lot in this situation of race.
Absolutely. So that's a fantastic look there from Afik Fadlan. I believe he is basically setting up to go back into the pits there. But brilliant stuff indeed there from Afik Fadlan. Hopefully we'll be able to see him go on there. So that is the end of qualifying, and on pole position there is Mika Hakimi with Shami Azri and Jay Wong in third position. So there you have it. The qualifying is done. Everything they could possibly do to prepare for this race is over. It's all down to gridding up and that very short run coming up to turn 1. What do you think is going to happen?
This is a tricky question for me, Max. I really love to see how risky the line that they will take to overtake, or in the first few corners, how risky the lines that they're gonna take to outrun everybody else, you know.
Absolutely. And also the other thing as well, they're going to be on cold tires, and sector 1 here on this track, the first opening section of this lap, really very difficult to get right. So now there will go down to the grid there. Mika Hakimi on pole position, as I said before, with Shami Azri in second place and Jay Wong in third. BSR doing very well for themselves there. Iman Danish is in fourth, followed by Ayman Haziq, Jay Chong, Kelvinder Singh, Mohammad Taki, Afiq Fadlan, and Simon Sanchez from Macau in 10th place.
We have to drive a left to grid. Okay. So now the rolling start have started.
Indeed, it has there. I believe this is going to be a 1-lap tour of the track. It's a very short track, so we're going to see the drivers go a full lap around here, and we can talk about some of the things that might happen through the course of this race start. As you can see, there really maximum of space for 3 cars if everyone is, let's say, working together.
This is a race, Max.
Yeah.
They won't work together.
Well, yeah, that's true, but these guys do have fantastic spatial awareness usually. But of course, coming out of Tarzan, it's not just like any sweeping corner. It comes into a short S's section before this left-hand corner, the Hugenholtz corner, and that's named after John Hugenholtz, who founded and run this track. This racetrack, incidentally, first had races on it in 1949. So way back in the day there. Now through this section here you can see, well actually I say you can see, you can't actually see over this crest. So if there's any trouble in this left-hander, the guys that are going over the hill before it won't be able to see until it's too late.
And it's a very tricky corner there, Max. You push too much brake, you will spun. Don't spun. You will spun there, and it's
really easy to spin your car around this track here. And of course, this is Shivlak. This is my personal favorite. And of course, anybody who's into open wheel racing. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like Mohammad Taki has to start from the pits there. Hopefully, we'll see him go out again. Mazdi Mardini also stuck in the pits there, but hopefully, we'll be able to see some action from them during the course of this race. But that section there, Shivlak, going downhill on the right-hander and popping back up again. With that natural sand dune being used as a gravel trap. I think, speaking from an open wheel background, this is what we love so much about Zandvoort.
You guys love some things that are really weird.
Yeah, that's what everyone else in iRacing tell us, especially the GT3 guys, because I can assure you that this track a lot harder to drive around than any of the other tracks that we go to. Now this is coming into the new section. Of course, the old track used to come out of Shivlak and it will be a flat-out blast through Bos Uit and through the final corner before the start-finish straight. But now we cut in because there is now a theme park that's built on the grounds of that old section of track. So we've unfortunately lost that section to history, but I think we've gained a very nice, tight complex of corners here that really challenges the drivers.
Yeah, this sector is one that I hate the most, man. I will tell you this. I really don't like this. You see how it goes from right hand corner and then it's straight up and need to go to the left hand corner, and it's really hard to get your timing right here.
Absolutely. So the drivers having hopefully a full lap to try and just get a little bit of temperature in the brakes, a little bit of temperature in the tyres there, and we're all hoping for the best here. But coming through these final 2 corners there, and I must say, even in a single-seater, not the best of, not my best series of corners there, but that's the difference between the good and the best. Han An Gogo says Gogo Pros Asia's best sim racers. He would know he is one of the best sim racers himself. He is in fact the driver that's been picked as Blue Steel Racing's next driver. Danish Iman, good luck to y'all. So there you have it. Those will be some of the drivers that we'll see later on in the stream. But right now, the Porsche race car, the pace car, has come off, and it's away we go. Mika Hakimi, fantastic jump to get himself up to first place. Shami Azri in second, and Iman Danish in third. But Iman Danish is going to dive in on the inside. Will he be able to hold on to his position there? Yes, he has, in fact, got himself up into second place. Brilliant start there from Iman Danish. A couple of the drivers further back getting very racy indeed. Coming down towards this left-handed downhill. It's banked, and there's not a lot of traction right now coming out of the corners there, but it looks like all the drivers have got through that dangerous first sector in one piece. And all the drivers are now coming up through Slaughtermarket and into the Shiflak corners. Hard on the brakes, diving down towards the inside there, through the dip and up over the crest. I'm reliably informed, very exciting in real life to drive through that section there and through the kink onto the new part of the track there. And Jay Wong, he's managed to keep his position. He's up into fourth position right now. Iman Danish gaining 2 positions there, and I believe Simon Sanchez also winning big in that particular start there, going from 10th to 7th position there. 3 positions gained for Simon Sanchez. So that's your big the 2 big winners from this first lap.
Iman Danish is a big risk taker there. That was a good positioning and a good timing that he goes through and just managed to overtake Shami Azri and Jay Wong at the same time.
Brilliant stuff indeed there from the Hyperpulse driver. Meanwhile, we're looking at his teammate Afik Fadlan driving around in the Porsche there. He's in 9th position right now, and he's just in the clutches of Pakvinder Singh, but very, very close again to the car ahead. In fact, he's trying to go for an overtaking maneuver there. He tries on the inside, he tries on the outside. Will he be able to hang it around the outside there? Kalvinder Singh goes a little bit wide. He tries to cut back in again, but Kalvinder Singh unable to take Simon Sanchez there. So that was a battle between Simon Sanchez and Kalvinder Singh. Meanwhile, Jay Wong putting a lot of pressure on Shami Azri. He's definitely not only proven to be well worthy of his pro position, but also right at the top of pro right now, fighting with guys like Shami Azri and Iman Danish. Brilliant stuff indeed from Jay the Singaporean.
Jay Wong, like we said earlier, a driver from AC, and now he's shown his taring.
Yes.
You know what people Malay say, now dia tunjuk taring. That's how we go. Zainul Hazim there, go Team Hyperbulls. Another driver from Hyperbulls team.
Absolutely, and don't forget, you can go down into the comment section below and you can chat to some of the drivers who are watching on stream, and also you can give us a comment, leave us a comment down below, and we might be able to see it on screen then. While you're there, just hit that like button and share that sim racing around. Meanwhile, Simon Sanchez in 7th place there, still in a very difficult situation. He has a car up ahead there, Jay Chong in 6th place, and Kalvinder Singh right behind him. So he's in a really tough spot right now. Kalvinder Singh is a lot closer to Simon than Simon is to Jay. So I think his main concern is going to be to try and not lose any more positions there. And of course, Kalvinder Singh has the backup of his teammate behind him, Afik Fadlan. So this is going to be a very interesting little battle, I believe. As I've said, I believe for almost the 200th time. This is the Adrenaline Impact midfield battle shaping up right here.
But tonight, we might see another podium race, Max.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen that last week, and this week, I think we're gonna see it again. Because Iman Danish and Shami Azri and Jay Wong is actually not that far off from the timing that we see right now.
Yes, they are lapping in the 134 to 135s right now around the track, which is quite quick considering they're only getting into lap 3. This is when we're going to start seeing the main meat and potatoes, the main bulk of the pace being generated, because now the tires are up to temperatures, the brakes are up to temperatures, the drivers are in full race mode right now as they go around the track there. But now here we go. Han An says Iman Danish never loses the chance. Absolutely, really pushing hard right now. He has a point to prove, I think, in this race. He was so close to overtaking Mika Hakimi in that last race. Now it's going to be revenge time. This is going to be vengeance. Can he catch Mika Hakimi? Can he give them a big battle?
We need to see where the gap get close and where the gap get wider, Max. So then we know what is Iman Danish setup and what the difference that it makes from this week to last week.
So there we have Muhammad Taki. Unfortunately had to start from the pits Very unfortunate indeed, but we know he has top 3 pace. In fact, he's proven it before. And the one thing that's always entertaining with watching Muhammad Taki, even when I was talking to him in private earlier on in the week, he was saying he's always thinking about strategies, about tactics, about driving every race like it's an endurance race. So I keep my eyes peeled for Muhammad Taki, because he might be able to pull off a pit maneuver, or he might be able to pull off a strategy that no one else would have seen.
He has shown the strategy that he talked about a lot in the first round and the second round, and it works, Mac. He managed to pull off from back of the field up to the 6th to the 4th place, and it still works.
Absolutely. Afiq Fadlan there, absolutely majestic through those corners there. But one person that's even more majestic there is Pagvinder Singh, coming through the corners there. Only 2/10, 1/10, less than a tenth a second there between those two drivers there. He's going to try and go for it. Pagvinder Singh again trying to go around the outside there of Simon Sanchez. This 2-car battle, we've got 2-car battles that are very quickly going to be a 4-car battle for position there. Simon Sanchez, I think he might be looking in the mirrors and getting a little bit worried as he goes through this section here. Any mistake from any one of these drivers could have big consequences in this race.
You know that when Simon Sanchez, Kevin Singh, Afiq Fadlan and Pavinder Singh battle together, we have 2 different style of driver. Kalvinder Singh and Afiq Fadlan known as a very good endurance kind of driver, very calm. And Simon Sanchez and Pavinder Singh is, well, they take quite drastic line. See what I can say? They take quite a drastic risk line.
There, but we could see there that Kavinder Singh just managing to go around the outside of Simon Sanchez. Unbelievable driving there. We didn't think that was going to happen. We didn't think he was going to be able to hold the line. Fair play to Simon Sanchez there for giving the room there, as he should. But brilliant driving there from Kavinder Singh. He must have been right on the edge of adhesion on his tyres there to try and get that run through. But now it's Kavinder Singh up ahead. Let's see if Simon Sanchez can try and hold off the drivers behind him right now. Simon Sanchez still quite close behind. Afiq Fadlan dropped back a little bit, but Pagvinder Singh, the battle between Afiq Fadlan and Pagvinder Singh heating up very big this time around. And you could see there, it looks like Pagvinder Singh's managed to take that position there from Afiq Fadlan right now. In the battle, it's just behind there, so there's two positions gained between half a lap right now, but this I think is going to go on for quite some time to come.
Kalvinder Singh, that was a very good line that he did. That was enormous, Max. I've never seen someone like, okay, I'm just gonna do it, and he commit to that.
Around the outside of turn 1 at Zandvoort, it's not the place I would naturally want to go and overtake, but he felt he had the grip, he felt he had the pace coming into the corner there, and he had to just go for it. Meanwhile, this is Pagvinder Singh using the traction advantage. He had a little bit of traction advantage. He tried to get alongside there, a little bit of a bump and run coming through that bend there, but Pagvinder Singh managing to go through. And like you were saying earlier on, Pagvinder Singh and Simon Sanchez, they are quite aggressive. They're quite almost Alonso style in their driving.
We can see the difference between the driving style of different racers here. When we see Pagvinder Singh and Simon Sanchez race, you know that they love to take a very high risk line.
Absolutely. We can see that Kavinder Singh definitely not one of those drivers that will take a high risk line normally, but I think this is one of the rare opportunities, I think, where he's decided, you know what, I'm going to pull my finger out. I'm going to really drive this race like a sprint race.
He got that confidence, man.
Yeah.
He got that confidence. That what make he commit to that. And we can see how he managed to commit to that kind of position right now.
Indeed, he has. And you can see that he's begun to pull away quite a bit from Simon Sanchez, and he's now getting closer and closer to Jay Chong. I think this might be a bit of a fight back from behind there. Meanwhile, Mika Hakimi has grown that gap to 2.8 seconds now with Iman Danish in second place. You can see he's going very quickly indeed. His fastest lap is 134.628, and I believe that was the previous lap prior to this. While Iman Danish 135.006, I believe at lap 4 or lap 5. So those drivers really pushing very hard there, but I think Mika Hakimi, he's doing that Schumacher thing. He knows he's got to dominate his opposition early and keep the car ahead.
And he has done it last week when he got the first place, and he told us when in the interview, he said that when I got the first place and I know what to do. And this is the same thing happened. He know what to do. He know which line that he could take just to manage to avoid every single thing. There you go, Aiman Zubir. Let's go Hyperbulls. Nice move, Kevin Singh.
Absolutely. I think this is move of the day, and just on that basis alone, he's got to be a driver of the day contender, hasn't he?
Yes, I agree with you on that, Max. He's doing great.
Meanwhile, this is Nevsky Chin there. Let's have a look at the replay. Again, going through this section here, it looks simple on camera, but trust me, when you're driving around here, it's so easy to spin, especially there. He's just a little bit offline there. You could tell the darker section of the track is where all the rubber is on the track. If you get onto that shiny side on the outside, it doesn't matter what you're driving, a Formula 3 car or a GT3 car or even an F1 car, the car just spins.
Yeah, that is what punish the driver.
Yeah.
It's not easy. You look like, oh, this is a small, easy corner, but no, it's not that. You have to manage a good pace, a good line, and so on. Here you go, Taki. He's trying to get Afiq Fadlan.
Yeah, he's really fighting from the back of the field there. He's pushing that Porsche very, very hard indeed. Let's have a look on board with Mohamed Taki coming through there. If he could do anything here, that will be amazing. But Afiq Fadlan is having a look there at Pagvinder Singh. Could he be trying to get past again? Hard on the brakes there. It looks like he's unable to do anything there. Oh, very close indeed. Afiq Fadlan having to check up quite a bit there. And Mohamed Taki just having to really hold up on the brakes there just to try and avoid any impact. Brilliant driving from all three drivers there to try and get through, but that means that Mohamed Taki is just about close enough to be able to read the serial number on that rear tail light.
If I am Taki just now, I lost my heartbeat, Max. Confirm. I lost my heartbeat on that. But Taki managed to avoid every single incident. That's how composed he is. And now he's still trying to get Afiq Fadlan and Pagvinder Singh in front. Well, like I said earlier, turn 1 might be the most overtaking maneuver will take place.
Yeah, absolutely. Turn 1 is going to be the easiest one, especially if you can outbrake your rival by quite a bit. Use the slipstream on the main straight and then just carry that into a bit of outbraking and make sure your nose is either alongside or just a bit ahead for a good, clean overtake at the Tarzan curve. But then again, saying this while I'm standing here talking to you gentlemen at home, ladies and gentlemen at home, easier said than actually trying it.
Yeah, we know how hard it is, Max. You know, when we talk about that, it's really hard. And after turn 1, it's actually you got less chance to overtake unless your opponent make any mistake.
Yeah, Mohamed Taki here, he's got a fantastic view of the battle that's raging up ahead here. He might be able to join in quite a few laps time there, but Pagvinder Singh still managing to just make sure he got enough pace over the course of the lap to not be in a dangerous situation as it was before. But you can see there he's slowly trying to pull away from Afiq Fadlan, but Afiq Fadlan gaining quite a bit over the previous lap there, so it's very push and pull. They're pretty much even right now. Any mistake from any one of these three drivers could have a big impact on their races. But look at how fast Afiq Fadlan is going up towards Shivlak, coming down through the corner there. Very different racing lines being used by all three drivers. And you can definitely tell that they're all looking for a way past. Muazzam Zari there saying, come on Taki, come back.
Yes, we know Taki will make a comeback, and we know that for sure. Right now, I can say that Mika Hakimi is actually on the verge of comfort right now. He's on a really comfort zone. Iman Danish is three seconds behind. Iman Danish need to think about a new strategy right now.
Yeah, I mean, if I was looking from Iman's point of view there, we know this is a very high degradation for the tyres there, so there is a chance that some of the drivers might even take tyres for this race. Of course, Iman Danish might be thinking, do I undercut? Do I overcut? What is going to be the play? He cannot do the exact same pit stop as Mika Hakimi does. That's what I think. I think if he does make the same pit stop or pits in at the same time, that's going to give the disadvantage to Iman Danish. He's going to have to do something different from Mika Hakimi in order to try and close that gap.
Pit race is not gonna make it, Max, tonight. So strategy is number one. We talked to Taki earlier last week that at the end of the race, they only got 20% left on the tires.
Yeah.
So that is really hard to control in this kind of track somehow.
And tire degradation is only going to go up the more you battle. Kelvin Singh having a look there at Jae Chong. Jae is a very cool, calm, unflappable driver nowadays, so he's not going to fall for that so easily. But you can tell that Kelvin Singh, what he's doing here is just making sure he's in the side mirrors of the car, just in that rear view mirror, making sure he can. Oh, and it looks like he's managed to get alongside it there. That's a brave maneuver there from Kelvin Singh, trying to hang it in on the inside. Brilliant stuff there. And he just about managed to hang onto that and get that position back. But Jae Chong is going to try and fight back hard on the brakes there. Will he be able to make it? No. And look at that, Kelvinder Singh just giving him a little bit of extra space, trying to get the speed out of the corner there. And that was a clinical maneuver there from Kelvinder Singh. Brilliant stuff.
Wow. We talk about how brave Kelvinder right now tonight. How risky the line that he take, and he managed to do it again. Here we go. Battle for Kelvinder and Jae Chong just now. That was an amazing overtake.
Yeah, you could see he was actually just putting the pressure on Jay, but I didn't realize it was going to work that quickly.
Yeah.
Coming through the corners then, just about managing to make that work. Meanwhile, Muhammad Taki is just closed up to Afiq Fadlan, who's just closed up to Pagvinder Singh. Pagvinder, I think, has the hardest job right now in this battle, because the track isn't very easy to drive on, and he's still got to worry about his tyres. He's still got to try and keep those tyres underneath him as long as possible, but at the same time he's going to have to defend not from one driver but from two drivers, which around Zandvoort is a very difficult thing to do. Afiq Fadlan, also a difficult job there. Muhammad Taki, for me, he's got the best chance here because he can just put the pressure on now. If he's got his tyre strategy, if he's still in his tyre strategy window, all he has to do is just drive that Porsche as fast as it'll go.
We can see that what Max said earlier regarding Taki tyre strategy. He just do a slower pace than he normally do, and than he normally does. That because he just want to save a little bit of tires, so that he make sure when he got through this driver, he can just pull it off.
Absolutely. We're riding on board now with the driver cam of Pagvinder Singh. All you Roy Charles fans, leave a comment down below and send in your support there. Pagvinder Singh there in 9th position. And would you look at his rig? I think he's got one of the best rigs in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff there. Full on. Oh, just about talking about his rig there. He's just gone way out wide and spun the car. Unbelievable stuff there. We're too busy looking at the rig. We didn't actually see what happened there. I think the car snapped out around him. I'm sure our trackside correspondent might be able to drag up that instant replay again, but that was unbelievable stuff.
That corner looks really easy, right?
Yeah,
it looks easy, bro. But nah, it ain't that easy. One simple mistake. This is what happened.
Oh, and he's just gone a little bit too quick into the corner there. The back end snapped out a bit there, and unfortunately he's had to give up 2 positions there to the battle that he was in, and he also gave up that position to Teguh Ezan. But Teguh Ezan, he's going to have to try and overtake Teguh Ezan in order to join up back with that battle, but I'm pretty sure that Teguh Ezan is not going to be the easiest driver to overtake, not only in the sim but in real life as well. We're actually just seeing some of his driving the Toyota Gazoo Racing. Really interesting stuff there, hanging the tail end out in that Corolla Vios.
You know, Max, what lucky about Roy Charles just now, Pagvinder Singh. He managed to avoid that barrier there.
Oh yeah.
If he go straight to the barrier, I think he out of the race.
Yeah, it's a very high-speed section there, so any damage taken from barriers will really, shall we say, impede your progress, to put it mildly. Meanwhile, Taki's just got one driver down. He's now got one more driver to go, and Afiq Fadlan is the man in the hot seat right now. A lot of pressure being put on him from Taki, and I think they're very close together now. Only 1/10 of a second there. This is slipstreaming distance right now, coming down towards the braking zone here, and Taki goes in on the inside. Will he be able to outbrake Afik Fadlan, a very hard thing to do. He's on the inside there. Afik Fadlan tries to carry the speed, but not enough. And Taki, beautifully done. A textbook maneuver there at Tarzan Curve. The massive outbraking, using the camber of the road, the banking of the road to turn the car. And he's managed to get himself up ahead. But I'll tell you one thing, Afik Fadlan has quite a few tricks up his sleeve around this track. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hang with Taki.
There you go, another overtake on turn 1, Max. So, turn 1 gonna be a overtake paradise there. Everybody will make a move in turn 1, but how close they are to one and each other, that's gonna be a big difference.
Yeah, it looks like for the Porsches at least, it's gonna have to be at least 0.2 of a second. You've got to be at least that close to each other before anything can happen, realistically speaking, if you're going to make an overtake like that. So Afik Fadlan is really going to push the car as hard as he can to try and close back up to the back of the car. But again, he's been battling for a fair few laps now, at least 3 or 4 laps. So could it be a time where he could think, hey, maybe I just stick behind Taki there, try and get some slipstream and try and save the car a bit and try and make that position back in the pits? Or do I push as hard as I can now to try and catch him again?
Taki has taken that advantage earlier, Max. I think more than 4 laps what happened between Taki, Bavinder and Alpha just now. They have been battling for more than 4 laps if I'm not mistaken. And that was actually give a very good advantage to Taki in terms of tyre and pace and so on.
Let's have a look at Bavinder Singh there, making a move on Tinku Izan again. A textbook maneuver, just the same as we saw with Taki and Afik Fadlan. Hard on the brakes there, just claiming the apex and making sure he is ahead of Tinku Izan there. But Bavinder Singh's job is not quite over. He's now going to try and gap Tinku Izan, which he is doing right now. Afik Fadlan quite far back at the moment there, and it looks like the course of the race is starting to open up quite a bit.
Jay Wong has been sitting at number 4 since the start of the race.
Yeah,
and I mean we have to. There.
Yeah, we have to talk about him at some point. There, Jay Wong intensely unlucky in the first couple of races. There, I think if he could just keep his head cool, he's got a decent gap behind him and a decent gap ahead of him. He's got Shami Azri ahead, Ayman Haziq behind him. Both, in fact, drivers that are quite, I would say, quite safe and like to give a lot of room in overtaking maneuvers there. So I think he's the safest he's ever been in this championship. So all he's got to do is just keep reeling off those laps and keep it going in order to make sure that he can get the position home. And Jay Wong in 4th position, that would be a huge thing for the entire Biff Racing crew. So all of the AC drivers that have made the step into iRacing are under the watchful eyes of Rizal and Jay's group, Biff Racing. A lot of the old school Sifus, all the old school trainers from iRacing have gone there and they're giving them fantastic advice, fantastic training. And in fact, all of the drivers are giving each other advice, training, pep talks. It's always super easy to, for instance, go up to Afik Fadlan and learn a bit about a track there. You can talk to Iman Danish, you can talk to Kelvinder Singh. It's brilliant, the community that we've had here.
Yes, I agree with you. The community that we have in sim racing is very, very good, and they are very friendly, and you can ask anything to them. They don't even hide you the setup that they made.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I mean, they might not give you 100% of the setup, but
they might give you the hint of the idea on how to set up your car.
Yeah. And it's brilliant stuff. Indeed, that's what we need. Not just in Malaysia, but all throughout Asia. You've got guys like Simon Sanchez, super approachable guy there. Bruno Cardozo, who unfortunately wasn't quite quick enough to get into the grid there. Han An, also a very lovely gentleman there from South Korea. And really a great stuff there. And of course the Brunei guys, fantastic. Always to talk to them. Especially to Mazdi Mardini, just giving him a little bit of a shout out there. He's having a fairly quiet race there. I think he's another driver that had a few problems there, but I think he's having quite a bit of fun there in 13th place. If there's any more DNFs, he might be able to sneak his way into a point. Yes,
Mazdi Mardini, we know that he is a good driver from Brunei. He has, in the same team with him is Fred Ting, Jeffrey Kahn, all of them are from Brunei, and they are very lovely and friendly.
Indeed, they are. Of course, as we wind our way towards the midpoint of the race there, the thoughts go to the big question mark around this track. When to come in for pits and do a go for tyres. You save a lot of time by not changing tyres around this track. The only problem is Zandvoort is the closest thing we race on to sandpaper. And it really wears your tyres out something fierce, so you get a huge advantage by going onto fresh tyres at the midway point of the race. It's only 30 minutes, but like we were saying, with the practice race, Taki was saying that after 20 minutes, he literally only had 20% left in his tyres. He's tyre saving right now. I'm sure a lot of the drivers are. It'll be interesting to see who's going to come in early, get fresh tyres, who's going to try and hang it out late. I think you're going to see two distinct groups of people. People who are coming in just before that 30-minute or on the 30-minute mark, and people who are going to try and push it to about 40 minutes, get in, fuel up less, and get fresh tyres, and really just do qualifying laps to try and catch back up in the field.
That was a good thing to talk about, Max. You know that when we talk about tires, it's not just tires. You need to talk about fuels. Fuel consumption in this track is high, just because. Oh!
And just as we were going to talk, Jay Chong and Muhammad Taki, they are two drivers of the same mind. They've gone into the pits right now, so that's your first drivers in the pits there. They're at the 26-minute mark, so they come in fairly early. So I think Taki's going to try and get in, fuel up, probably even change tyres. I'm not too sure. He could try it. Get out there and just try and make sure his first few laps are really, really fast so that he catches up to everyone once they're in the pits. That's what we call an undercut. When you pit early, get out and push the car as hard as you can in order to catch up with the drivers just in time for them to go into the pits.
By the time that they exit the pit lane, Max, I don't think they change the tyre. Because tyre change takes you for quite a few seconds.
Yeah, a few more seconds than that. So I think he might have. Yeah, I think he might be right there. They might still be on the older set of tyres. Brave maneuver there around this track.
That was a really, really, really brave strategy. It's hard for them, maybe at the end of the race. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard for them. But you know, Taki have been saving his tyres for quite some time. So now we go. Shami Azri is still on the third position. He's still on the podium list, Max, and he is actually our contender on winning the podium right now.
Yeah, winning the championship. He's still in there with a chance there. Of course, he's going to need a good result and perhaps maybe a little bit of drama there from Mika Hakimi and Iman Danish, who I think coming towards the latter half of the season, those are the two favourites now. That's where we're talking about our version of Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. It's Mika Hakimi and Iman Danish right now.
And they have been fighting for position since the last lap, since the last round. But this round, it seems like Mika Hakimi have a very good chance. And with that 4-second gap, he might manage to take it home, Max.
Absolutely. For a lot of the other drivers here, you can't pit right now, I don't think. This lap would be a fairly difficult lap to try and do anything. You really want to wait. You either want to go early like Taki did, or wait till 30 minutes, 35 minutes have passed in the race before we go in. But yeah, there we have it. Shami Azri in third position. The gap, incidentally, between Mika Hakimi and Iman Danish is 4.2 seconds there. So Iman's really going to have to try and offset him. Whatever Mika does, Iman can't do. Because otherwise, I mean, if they go in at the same time, come back out again, you might be able to short fuel yourself and get out there ahead. But if you're short fueled, you might not have the performance in the car to last to the end of the race. And, if someone has fresher tyres, they might get the upper hand right at the end of the race when you need the grip the most. So what he's got to do, I think, is either come in earlier than Mika or come in later than Mika. Ayman Haziq, meanwhile, another Blue Steel Racing driver, doing very well for himself up in 5th position. Not quite able to catch up to Jay Wong, though, in 4th place. Jay really doing very well for himself there. He's got the pace, he's got the rhythm right now, and all he's got to do is just keep the car rolling around the track.
There you go. When Max says about less fuel, it's actually quite efficient when we have less fuel. But the problem is, will it hold up until you finish your races? If you finish your race with that much fuel, you're gonna have a lot of time.
Yep, absolutely. The trick is to cross the line with 0.01 liters in your tank. But you might end up with 0.00 liters at the final corner, which would be very embarrassing.
And you can't go up to that hill.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to climb up the hill for starters. Meanwhile, Kavinder Singh there, he's really on a fantastic drive right now. He's caught up to Ayman Haziq at the moment there in 5th place, pushing very nicely indeed. We've seen some beautiful overtaking maneuvers there from Kavinder Singh. You could really tell that he has a thing for this track. I don't know if he likes the track or not, but he definitely knows the track well and really can drive around it. 0.7 of a second there, 0.6 of a second in fact. I think he might be able to close up quite a bit over the course of this next 2 laps here, but Ayman Haziq has got to be really careful now coming through the pits there. Jay Wong is now into the pits exactly on the 30-minute mark, and Kalvinder Singh decides to go in as well. He realizes he can't quite catch Ayman Haziq. Let's head into the pits, let's freshen up, get some fuel in the car, and let's see if perhaps maybe even look at the tire wear as well. Simon Sanchez also following them into the pits. This is where the pit stops are really going to get interesting, because we've seen staggered pit stops. We saw Taki and Mazdi come in early. Now we've got the guys coming in right at the halfway mark there. Jay Wong, Kalvinder Singh, Simon Sanchez, Pagvinder Singh and Tuku Ezan now in the pits there. And now these guys, I'm sure, will be running to a game plan and heading out right now. But right now we can see that Kalvinder Singh coming out next to Mazdi Mardini. Will he be able to hang it around the outside there? No! Kalvinder Singh again just making sure he's got that car ahead. Simon Sanchez comes out a little bit late there. There's still a couple of cars in the pits there. Pagvinder and Tuku Ezan still working on their cars at the moment there. But as you can see there, Kalvinder Singh, he's only dropped down to 7th place there, and there's quite a lot of cars up ahead that need to pit. So there's quite a few drivers further behind that are going to be pushing as fast as possible. This is the undercut opportunity. And let's see if Mika is going to come in. Of course he's going to come in right now. The interesting thing is to see if Iman Danish goes into the pits. No, he does go into the pits, in fact. And he's going to try and jump him by underfueling in the pits there. That's going to be a interesting thing to look out for. Shami Azri, he keeps going out on track. He, I think, will be the one driver, one of the few drivers, maybe Shami Azri and Afiq Fadlan, might be the 2 drivers that might be going long in through the stint there. But Shami Azri there in the lead. He's overtaken Mika Hakimi and Iman Danish in the pits there. This is going to be the race effectively for the lead of the race there. Afiq Fadlan has crossed the line as well. Meanwhile, Kalvinder Singh, he's closing up to Jay Wong at the moment there. They're going to be pushing as hard as they can to try and jump past Iman Danish and Ayman Haziq. I don't think Ayman is going to be able to come out in time there. It looks like it's going to be very close indeed. Jay Wong manages to get past. Kalvinder Singh has to hang it around the outside once again, but unfortunately this time just unable to do it. Ayman Haziq managed to keep Kalvinder Singh in 7th place. Ayman in 6th place there. But of course Ayman Haziq has a big problem right now. He's on cold tires. He's got on a full load of fuel there. It's going to be really tricky for him to try and keep that car going.
Am I right if I think that Iman Danish have done a very Ayman Haziq has done a very stunning job there, Max. He is doing great, and right now we're back to square one, where Kalvinder, Ayman Haziq and Jay Wong is fighting for position.
Indeed, this battle has recommenced. Now Shami Azri is going to go into the pits there. I want to know what Afiq Fadlan's doing. Shami Azri taking the witch's hat with him for a bit of a ride down the pits there, and Dutch marshals will have to head over and try and pick that up again. What will Afiq Fadlan do here? I'm really interested in seeing, because sometimes we've seen some really clever driving from Afiq Fadlan, some really clever pit strategies there. Is he going to hang it out? No, he's going to head into the pits as well. So that should be everyone in the pits right now. Mika Hakimi has gone ahead at the moment there. It looks like Shami Azri unable to make any difference through the course of the race there. Iman Danish now with a 4-second gap from Mika Hakimi. The biggest threat to Mika's lead in this race, I think, has been neutralized. Brilliant pit strategy there from Mika Hakimi. I would have thought that Iman could have tried an offset there, but as it turns out, 3.8 seconds is the gap at the moment. Kelvinder Singh, though, meanwhile, he is pushing still as hard as he possibly can in order to try and gain some positions. He's already in 6th place right now. He's got Jae Chong behind him. Now he still has Ayman Haziq ahead of him, and they are all slowly but surely catching up to Jae Wong at the moment. Afif Adlan comes back out onto the track in 10th place.
Wow, Max. Basically, Iman Danish managed to pull a little bit of that pit stop just now. He now is 3 seconds behind Mika Hakimi. And not to mention, Kelvinder Singh now fighting with Ayman Haziq. And this has been the second lap they have been fighting. Wow, they are getting closer and closer to Jae Wong right now, Max.
Absolutely brilliant stuff there from Kelvinder Singh. He's going on the inside, he's going around the outside there, trying to hang it on the outside, trying to hang it on the inside there. Unbelievable driving from Kelvinder Singh, putting a lot of pressure on Ayman Haziq. Ayman's, of course, we all know he's seen all of this before, but even when you have a lot of experience, when you're under pressure for Kelvinder Singh, it's something else entirely. Your blood pressure rises, your heartbeat just skips a couple of times there, because you know that Kelvinder, he's not going to go for a gap that doesn't exist. He is going to go for those chances where he knows he can make it. He's really good at balancing the probabilities, the chances there in an overtake. 0.3 of a second, not close enough, but I would be looking at this at the next lap. It will be, I think, insane to see how these guys go through there. But of course, it could happen earlier because Kelvinder is the only driver who's actually managed to overtake elsewhere on the track, apart from just turn 1.
Yes, Kelvinder Singh and Ayman Haziq, both of them is actually have been raced side by side for quite a long time. I think more than 1 or 2 years, and I for sure they know each other and they know what is their weakness and what is their opponent strength, so they know where to anticipate, where to make the move.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that makes a big impression as well, because if you know your rival, it becomes a lot easier to fight wheel to wheel with them as well, because you have that ability. Ooh, looking there, it looks like Jae Wong slowed down a little bit through Shivlak through the new section right now, and now this 2-horse race has just turned into a 3-car battle for 4th position right now. There's big points on offer for all these 3 drivers, so they're going to be fighting for every single position they can get, and it looks like Ayman Haziq is in a real tough position right now. He's got Kelvinder Singh. He's managed to close up the gap there. He's now 2.5 tenths behind, and we're very close to that point there where Kelvinder can try and make that overtaking maneuver work. Let's see what the gap is coming onto the main straight here. 0.26 seconds behind there. Nice, beautiful draft there, but not quite close enough, I think. He's going to just sit back, hold up, and make sure he's going as fast as possible. He is taking a very late apex through turn 1, just in case Ayman Haziq tries anything. Looking again on the inside, on the outside, harrowing Ayman Haziq and trying to force him into a mistake. This is brilliant driving there from Kelvinder.
Yeah, here you go. Kelvinder Singh go left and right just to make sure that he got a good opportunity to go through Ayman Haziq just now.
Brilliant stuff indeed there, but it looks like Ayman Haziq managing to open up a gap just a little bit on the way to the top of the track here and diving down towards the new section around here. Javier Alvarez there, amazing race. In fact, indeed, it is an amazing race there, and that's coming from a man who knows Zandvoort quite well.
There you go. Taki is actually behind Jae Wong. 0.6 gap. That was really close, Max. That was really close. And I know Taki will make it. You have seen how he drives just now. There you go. Ayman Haziq. We have a good face cam here. He's still trying to get to Jae Wong. Jae Wong got a very good defensive maneuver tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got the pace. That's the main thing. You can't be defensive when you're 2 seconds a lap slower. Jay definitely has the pace in the car, and I know he would have been working very hard. He would have been hot lapping for hours. That's really his style when it comes to preparing for a race there. So Ayman Haziq, in terms of pace, he's going to have to push really hard there. But having said that, there's a little bit of a mistake, or a little bit of a difference in line at least, between Jae Wong and Ayman Haziq coming through this section here. He's going very wide there. I think Jay is definitely pushing that car to the limit at this point. And Ayman just biding his time. He's going to have to drop back a little bit through these S's here. And the reason why you don't want to be too close is you've got that dirty air effect. You lose a little bit of downforce if you're too close to the car ahead of you. Now coming up to Shiflak here, this is where you want to try and catch back up again towards the exit there. But it looks like Jay's got enough of a pace to try and keep ahead. But Ayman also has to worry about the car behind him, because of course the car behind him is Kalvinder Singh. We've been saying that he's had a quiet first round, a quiet second round, and a quiet third round. Well, I'll tell you what, Kelvin, we're talking about you quite a bit this round.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that, Max.
I feel like the BBC Director General here, making sure we've got fair and balanced coverage right now. But fantastic shot there from inside Ayman Hazik's car. It just goes to show the amount of correction, the amount of steering that's required to keep these cars going at a very high pace right now. This is Jay Chong being harassed by Taki at the moment there. Taki again trying to fight his way up through the leaderboard. 40 minutes have passed in the race. This would have been where I thought some of the drivers would have pitted, but everyone decided to pit early. Jay Chong getting a little bit wider, very wide indeed. Amazing save. Usually when you get a Porsche that sideways on dirt, it's hard to get back. You can ask a gentleman by the name of Walter Roll how hard it is. But it looks like Taki's managed to get himself ahead of Jay Chong. Amazing driving indeed. No, he's locked up. He's locked up. He set the car high up into the corner there, but he saved it. He saved it. Unbelievable driving there from Taki. How did he catch that? Unbelievable stuff. We've got to have a look at that replay. Just incredible driving there, and Taki looking cool, calm and collected as possible. That was Gilles Villeneuve levels of driving. Lock it up, toss it on the inside and make sure it sticks. Let's have a look through here. This is Taki overtaking around the outside of the Ari Lyondike bend. Brave stuff indeed. He's coming, he's got a massive run up there, but Jay Chong going defensive. He wants to go around the outside, try and carry the speed through there, but he changes his mind a little bit. Big sideways moment, locks the brakes up, catches the slide and takes it.
And Taki face was like, nothing happened. That what? You know how relaxed he is, how calm he is.
Yeah.
We talk about this last round, and that is the face that he do. Okay, I managed to catch it lah. Okay, then we can go on, right? Okay, I go on lah. That's how Taki is. Now Kalvinder Singh, Ayman Hazik and Jay Wong are still fighting for the 4th position, Max.
This is just like fighting for the lead of the World Championship at this point. They are pushing those cars as hard as they will go. No changes in position just yet, but look at that. Kalvinder Singh going very close. Sends the car up on the inside. Forces Ayman Hazik to go defensive there, but not quite able to do anything just yet. Ayman Hazik, though, is very close to the back of Jay Wong. I would not want to be in Jay Wong's Porsche 911 GT3R car at this particular moment in time. All three drivers nose to tail coming out the left-hander and through these Slotermaker corners and towards Shivlak. Brilliant racing through these S's here. Absolutely flat out as they go over the crest and into Shivlak. Very difficult. It's super important to keep the racing line coming up towards the top here, and now into the new section of the track there. And look at how close Kalvinder is. He has a lot of speed coming through that section right now. He's looking on the inside, looking on the outside. Will he look back in on the inside? He's going to force Ayman to go tight through the left-hander there. Not quite able to make it, but coming out there, Ayman Hazik just doing just enough to keep ahead of Kalvinder Singh. Brilliant driving from all three drivers right now. Jay Wong, he's just got to hang on to it, buddy, and really keep that green Porsche up ahead. But it looks like Ayman Hazik now, it's his turn to try and get a little bit racy there, coming through the start, the final two corners and onto the start-finish straight here. This is going to be absolutely exciting. Coming through the final corner there, hard on the throttle, trying to get the slipstream. You can see Jay is trying to break the slipstream. He goes one direction, he goes the other direction. If you do that, you break the slipstream a little bit, you might just neutralize the threat behind you. But look at that, Kalvinder Singh's going to try and go around the outside. Will he make it? No, he cannot. This is unbelievable driving there. Look at how close Kalvinder is to Ayman Hazik.
Wow, Ayman Haziq has made a decision. I need to attack and I need to defend at the same time. And that's what he has done for the past few laps. He never let Jae Wong goes and he always kept Kalvinder Singh behind intact.
Unbelievable driving there from Ayman Haziq. Really keeping on top of situation right now. Hard on the throttle coming out of the corner there. You can see that Kalvinder has two places where he's really quick. Coming into the new section here, he has made moves before around this particular section of track. And you can see he's getting very close there to Ayman Haziq. He could go on the inside. Will he try? No, he won't. He decides discretion is the better part of valor and lets Ayman Haziq go on his way. That's the nice thing about driving with Kalvinder nowadays. He will give the space. He just makes sure that everyone's got enough space so that they're all happy with it when he does, in fact, go past. But this is almost just heart-aching to see for Ayman Haziq, because he's going to go side by side now, going through the second to last corner there, and will he be able to hang on to it, coming in towards the inside there. Kalvinder side by side with Ayman Haziq there, and he's got the nose of the Porsche ahead of it. They're going to go side by side down the straight there, and it looks like Kalvinder has managed to get that car ahead. He tries to break the stream on the inside, on the outside, hard on the brakes there, very late on the brakes there for Kalvinder. He throws the car into the corner as hard as he can, and he takes that position. Unbelievable racecraft from both drivers, and an unbelievable overtake again from Kalvinder Singh. If we have an overtake award, he's got it.
Wow, Max, Kalvinder Singh have managed to do it again and again. Wow.
So in any case, the driver of the day vote will be coming up fairly soon. So we'll be having a look at that. Do keep your eyes peeled for that coming up very, very shortly indeed. Ayman Haziq, meanwhile, he's still in 6th position there. But Kalvinder Singh, he does appear to have a bit of a pace advantage. He's actually been able to pull away a little bit from Ayman, and now he's on the hunt for Jae Wong. He's been on the hunt for Jae Wong since the start of the race, it seems like, and definitely going to be pushing that Porsche. The driver from Hyperbulls there, they've got one driver in 2nd place, and they've got one driver in 5th position, so that's going to be an interesting run for them. Iman Danish is on board right now. He's had a fairly quiet race in 2nd place, but if he can get that 2nd place, it'll be a fantastic result for him.
Wow, I thought he eating something. I was like, oh no, he's actually greeting when he driving, and that is his race face. Omar Aziz loves to talk about his race face.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to talk about our pit lane reporter Umar Aziz there, who's been doing a fine job of bringing us not only all the camera views from out there on the track, but snooping around the pits as well. Kelvin T responds, "What a drift!" Yeah, you can say that again. Brilliant stuff indeed there from. Especially from Taki. Yeah. You can see a lot of these drivers have fantastic car control, but that was brilliant stuff indeed. Iman Danish as well, and he's been developing his car control for quite some time. So that's Mr. Sonneveld there. Go Mika and Ayman, BSR Power. So thank you so much, Mr. Sonneveld, for dropping by the stream there. And while you're down there, do share this stream around and spread that sim racing love. See how it's done in Asia.
Yeah, here we go. Another replay for Kalvinder Singh and Ayman Haziq. What happened between that? Kalvinder Singh has managed to pull a lot of tricky line tonight. Well, I bet he loved this track. You can see how aggressive he is in this track, you know?
He does really look like he is in love with this track right now, and doing very well indeed. Iman Danish there. In 2nd place, 3.5 seconds ahead of Mika Hakimi. Again, we know how consistent and how much of a safe pair of hands Mika Hakimi is compared to Iman Danish. With Shami Ajri in 3rd position there, Jae Wong in 4th place. Let's have a look at Taki there, going around the outside of Jae Chong here. Brilliant, on the throttle around the outside of the Ari Lyondike bend, and just about manages to make that work. Coming down towards turn 1, but going a little bit defensive so that there's no counter-attack, sliding the car up the hill and catching it again.
Yeah, that was a good drift. I bet Taki will go for D1 GP today, this year.
Yeah, and he already has the car to do it, the Porsche 911 GT3 car. Brilliant piece of car control there from Taki. Indeed. Mika Hakimi, meanwhile, let's have a talk about this. I think he's another dominating performance there. If he could pull this off, Iman Danish is trying to catch him up in the standings there, but I think Mika Hakimi will have a dominant lead in the championship if he can pull this race win off.
Wow. Max, Iman Danish has done a very good... Mika Hakimi has done a very good job. Since the first lap, Iman Danish has been trying, but... Well, we have like 10 minutes left and 3 seconds behind. You know?
It's a big ask.
Yeah, you need to cross your fingers.
Yeah, absolutely. But apart from the pit cycle, when everyone went into the pits, he has not been led out there at Zandvoort. An absolutely dominant display right now. He's keeping, I believe, that gap to 3.5 seconds there. Because like we say, they still have to think about the tyre wear right now. So, we have the driver of the day nominations coming right up. Get ready to vote at facebook.com/Galeri Impact. So, we have Kelvinder Singh, Muhammad Taki, Ayman Haziq and Jay Wong. The 4 nominations for driver of the day. Vote now. Get everyone to vote as well. Kelvinder Singh is definitely pushing very hard for your vote at that point in time there. So is Jay Wong behind him. Kelvinder Singh managing to get that position. He's been hunting, fighting, pushing for that position for so long, and he's managed to get it. And now you can see he's absolutely flied away. And Ayman Haziq's managed to make that overtaking maneuver as well. So unbelievable stuff there. We're just talking about our driver of the day nominations. Well,
wow, Max. Wow. I lost my word on that move. Kelvinder Singh has managed to pull another brilliant move, and that was wild. It's hard to pull off that kind of move, Max.
Yeah, Zainal Hazim there, go team Hyperballs. All of our team fans do give a big shout out to your favorite teams down there in the comment section below. But this has been brilliant racing so far there. I think if Kelvinder Singh doesn't get driver of the day, he's going to get overtaker of the day as well. Coming around the outside there of Jay Wong. Brilliant driver for Jay there, just to give enough space in order to get the car going through there. He's managed to keep the car ahead right now and just managed to keep that position there. But look at Ayman Haziq. This is what in Malay you guys often say, kutip sayur.
Yes. Oh, Jay made a small mistake
there on the outside of the corner there. He's just been overtaken. He's trying to get that position back there. Got a little bit riled up, so we say. Got that rear tyre on the gravel and in a Porsche. Not the greatest of ideas there, but still brilliant driving there from Jay. There's another car that's gone off the track. I think that was Taki. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look there. Taki getting the car very, very wide there. He's chasing that car as much as possible to avoid the barriers, but he just touches it. Unfortunate stuff indeed. Now he's going to have to push quite hard in order to try and get the car into the pits. It looked like. But there you go. Ayman Zubair, his driver of the day, is going to be Kelvinder Singh. I don't think a lot of people would argue about that. Brilliant driving from him. Now, I know he's ended up in 4th place yet again, but his journey to that position has been absolutely unbelievable. I think we might have to make a special exception and invite him anyways.
Yes,
to
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. He has been... Wow, he has been consistent since the first round, Max.
Yeah.
And he managed to done it again this round, and that was just wow.
Unbelievable stuff there from Kelvinder Singh. Of course, Ayman Haziq still trying to chase up behind him, but I think the gap is quite large right now, and all he's got to do there is just keep his position, hold his nerve, and keep the car on the track. You see how hard it is to just keep the car on the track. Taki, who's a really consistent driver, had that mistake coming into the Lyondike bend. So it's very, very difficult to keep the rhythm here at Zandvoort.
At the end of this race, Max, we have 6 more minutes to go, and we know the flow of the race has totally changed. And we can see the race line is different right now. It's not just like just as aggressive as it is, but it's more towards like, okay, I need to survive, and that what Calvinder doing right now.
Indeed, fantastic stuff there from Calvinder. He can't catch the car up ahead right now, but I think he has to be happy with that 4th place position for sure. Ayman Haziq still trying his best to try and take it back from him, but brilliant stuff there. With almost 55 minutes passed in the race, Mika Hakimi is in first position there with 5 minutes to go in the race. About 2 laps left in the race here. Mika Hakimi in first place, followed by Iman Danish in second position. Another brilliant drive from Iman there. Didn't quite have the pace to catch up with the car ahead there, but I think this is fantastic redemption for the previous round.
Yeah, Iman Danish is still trying, Max. Till the end, Iman Danish still trying, but well, Mika Hakimi, he keep pulling his leg off, but you can see Iman Danish behind.
Yeah. He is still pushing. The gap is only 2.7 seconds at the moment. There appears to not be enough time, and I think Mika Hakimi might have a little bit of pace left, to be fair. You don't want to push the car for no reason at this point in time, so it's all about pace control for Mika Hakimi at this point in time. But still, when you can see your rival ahead of you, the afterburners do tend to go on a bit.
Yeah, and when you see your opponent in front of you, you see that, oh, I still got a chance. You know that, Max? Well,
absolutely.
Before there's any checkered flag, you still have a chance to win this race.
It ain't over until the car crosses the finish line.
Yes, there you go. 2.5 second gap. He managed to shave off 0.2 second in the last lap, man.
Yeah, 0.2 of a second there. It definitely looks like Mika Hakimi has rolled off the pace quite a bit. Again, we were talking about the tyre wear here. Is the tyre wear starting to affect Mika quite a lot?
Or the fuel?
Or it could be the fuel, because they were racing in the pits, and it's so tempting to just put half a litre less, 1 litre less, 2 litres less. So he might be fuel saving quite a bit here. This has changed the complexion of the race there. There's 4 minutes, almost 3 minutes left on the clock there, and it could still be open for Iman Danish to try and win this race. Mika will be looking at that fuel consumption meter quite a lot right now.
If it is a fuel issue, Max, well, if I am Mika, I'm starting to feel very obnoxious right now. I'm just like, okay, I'm sweaty here. Please help me. I need to finish this race. I'm on the first place.
He's got the choker. He's put the choke back in and put the car in 5th gear and do all that sort of stuff. Pump the rear tires up.
I need to cruise all the time. That we know that because we also race.
Yes.
We do know that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like a track around here, even a 20-minute race, even a sprint race. You'll often find drivers having to preserve the tires and preserve the fuel consumption. Zandvoort takes the performance out of the car like no other track, including the Nordschleife. It really is that demanding, especially when it's a little bit cold, because when it's a little bit cold, you're sliding the car a little bit more. Once you start sliding the tires, little bits of the tire starts tearing off, and you just lose that performance step by step. There, 2.3 seconds now is the gap there, so he is catching by 0.2 at the moment there. So that's going to be quite interesting to see there. Mika Hakimi doing a 136.396. Iman Danish doing 136.127 at this moment.
Well, we can see the gap getting closer and closer between them. But we have 2 laps less, I think. Yeah, so less than 2 laps. Iman Danish, he still need to push all the way. And Mika Hakimi, if we talk about the fuel consumption and fuel issue just now, if that the issue that Mika Hakimi is facing right now, I bet he's sweating all over the place.
This was looking very dominant, but right now I think we've just stumbled across a real chess battle in terms of strategy right now. Mika Hakimi has made his bed and he's now preparing to lay in it. Iman Danish looks like he's got the performance in the car. So that's going to be the difference now. And it's under 2 seconds at the moment. 59.18 have passed. I'm not too sure if Mika can get across the line and do another lap. And will he, even if he can, will he be able to do that other lap? Does he have enough of a gap to slow down and ensure that he comes across the line and takes the race win? This is going to be quite interesting. There 40 seconds, 20 seconds ago. There's not much you can do here. 1.6 seconds the gap between there. He's going to have to take one more lap. And Umar there, our pit lane correspondent, called it a little bit earlier than me. That's white flag right now. This is the final lap of the race. And Mika Hakimi and Iman Danish have closed up from the comfortable 3 seconds to a 1.7 second gap. Meanwhile, Taki having a lot of troubles there. I think that must have been caused by the damage he had from the earlier accident at the final corner there.
Taki just loves to drift.
Might have to bring him into AC and do a bit of drifting with him one day.
That was actually good. 1.3 second behind Iman Danish and Mika Hakimi. The heat is getting stronger, Max.
And there's traffic up ahead. There's traffic up ahead. Oh, that's one car off the track there. That is Tuku Ezan. Tuku Ezan. Going very wide off the track there. Everyone's tires have worn out a little bit there. So that was very scary stuff indeed. Meanwhile, Mika Hakimi and Iman Danish are going to have to... It looked like Tukwezan really threw the car off the road just to make sure this battle is not going to be messed with. So perhaps a nice sportsmanship award there from Tukwezan to clear the way there. I know he probably he didn't mean to go off the road there, but it's very difficult to try and go on the outside line at Shivlak. Really difficult.
Yeah, with these kind of tires and with this heat and the pace that these two people are fighting right now, there's a lot of pressure, Max.
Yeah, and Mika, now there's a gap of 1.2 seconds there. Oh no, it looks like Iman's gone a little bit wide there, and that's just dropped the pace a little bit there. Mika will have enough fuel to get across the line, and he takes it. Mika Hakimi wins here at Zandvoort, and you can tell he is very happy indeed for that win. I think he was relieved as much as anything else there to come across the line. Fantastic stuff there. Iman Danish, brilliant bit of redemption from last round. He's brought it home in second place there, and he's proved he's got the pace there. If we were running a 1 hour and 10 minute race, he would have won the race. But then again, as you say, you've only got the time you've got.
Well, Max, this has been a very good race, and I enjoy every single second of this race.
Indeed.
How Kavinder Singh have done a very good job attacking here and there. Bam, 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 like nobody cares, you know?
Yeah, brilliant stuff indeed. From all the drivers there, all the drivers in the Driver of the Day box there absolutely deserved it. Do keep voting in that Driver of the Day poll and let us know who you think is your Driver of the Day here at Zandvoort. But the race winner right now, Mika Hakimi in first place. Iman Danish looks like he's pushing him along actually in the second position. I think that car might be a little bit low on fuel there. But Iman Danish perhaps just giving him a little bit of a tap to make sure they see it. So there we have... let's have a quick look at the results there. Mika Hakimi in first position with Iman Danish in second. Shami Azri is in third place with Kavinder Singh in fourth, and Ayman Hazik in fifth place. In sixth is Jay Wong, followed by Simon Sanchez, Afif Fadlan, Padvinder Singh, and our final point scorer, Jay Chong. Brilliant driving all around, and this race had a little bit of everything, didn't it?
Yeah, but wow, this has been a very good race, Max. So we are going to the AM round after this.
So we will be heading over to the AM race in a few minutes time. But first of all, we have to say fantastic stuff there. Do keep voting for that Driver of the Day there. Before we go to break, a special thanks to our sponsors, LamboPlace with their 5G guarantee. You won't go wrong. Also, a special thanks to Stratus and Excitix, along with our media partners, Galeri Kereta and DSF. And do stay tuned very, very shortly, because ourselves here at Trumpet, Adrenaline Impact, and Vertex will be heading over very, very shortly. But we can actually confirm right now, as the voting has been that far in favor. We can confirm that the Driver of the Day today is Kelvinder Singh.
With 75% vote. Well, he was actually deserve that.
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh.
So that's going to be it for us for the moment. Do stay tuned, because if you thought that pro race was fantastic, the TCRs coming right up are going to be even better. Do stay tuned. We'll be back very, very shortly. Had a fantastic start there. He's managed to jump the field there. Mika Hakimi is also trying to hang on tight through there and going through the first few corners there. It looks like they've managed to spread themselves out just enough, but further back I'm sure we're seeing a lot of action. Let's have a look at the driver cam of Muhammad Taki.
The midfield battle is actually a real battle, guys. Now Kevin Singh, Muhammad Taki and Ayman Haziq, and also in front of them is Shami Azri.
Hard on the throttle here. This is going to be desperation hour right now. Iman Danish hard on the brakes there. They're going to go side by side. They touch, and Iman Danish is off. He's off the track there, and he's dropped down to 4th place to 5th place. That's unbelievable stuff there right now. Mika Hakimi trying his hardest to go up through Canada corner there, and Muhammad Taki, it looks like they had a bit of a contact there, but it looks like Mika Hakimi might be able to get himself across the finish line there in first position. They're going to go 3 wide underneath the Corvette bridge, and it looks like the 2 Hyperboost cars have managed to mug James Russell coming out of the corner there. Not too sure what happened to James there at the start of the race, but it looks like he's had a real race of ups and downs there. We have a genuine 3-way battle of grenades.
Brilliant, yeah. I just want to say that.
Let's see if he can get ahead of Shame Aizan through the corner there. They're going to go side by side. Hard on the throttle now. It's going to be a drag race down to turn 2, and it looks like a bit of a twitch there from Shame Aizan, giving that bit more pace to Han An. Hard on the brakes again, and it looks like Han An with a majestic move around the outside of Shame Aizan has managed to claim 2nd position. It's definitely redemption time there for James Russell taking home the win in 1st place. Han An in 2nd place, and Shame Aizan decides to take it home in 3rd position. That was a real drag race up to the top of the hill. I did call it.
LamboPlace.
Looks like Iman Danish has had a fantastic start there. He's managed to jump the field there. Mika Hakimi is also trying to hang on tight through there and going through the first few corners there. It looks like they've managed to spread themselves out just enough, but further back I'm sure we're seeing a lot of action. Let's have a look at the driver cam of Muhammad Taki.
The midfield battle is actually a real battle, guys. Now Kevin Singh, Muhammad Taki and Ayman Haziq. And also in front of them is Shami Azri.
Hard on the throttle here. This is going to be desperation hour right now. Iman Danish hard on the brakes there. They're going to go side by side. They touch. And Iman Danish is off. He's off the track there. And he's dropped down to 4th place to 5th place. That's unbelievable stuff there right now. Mika Hakimi trying his hardest to go up through Canada corner there. And Muhammad Taki, it looks like they had a bit of a contact there, but it looks like Mika Hakimi might be able to get himself across the finish line there in first position. They're going to go 3 wide underneath the Corvette bridge, and it looks like the 2 Hyperboost cars have managed to mug James Russell coming out of the corner there. Not too sure what happened to James there at the start of the race, but it looks like he's had a real race of ups and downs there. We have here a genuine 3-way battle of grenades.
Brilliant, yeah. I just want to say that.
Let's see if he can get ahead of Shami Aizan through the corner there. They're going to go side by side. Hard on the throttle now. It's going to be a drag race down to turn 2, and it looks like a bit of a twitch there from Shami Aizan, who's given that bit more pace to Han An. Hard on the brakes again, and it looks like Han An with a majestic move around the outside of Shami Aizan has managed to claim 2nd position. It's definitely redemption time there for James Russell taking home the win in 1st place. Han An in 2nd place, and Shami Aizan decides to take it home in 3rd position. That was a real drag race up to the top of the hill. I did call it.
LamboPlace.
And we're back. Good evening and welcome back to the Trumpet International Racing E-Series. We've just finished the pro race there. Fantastic race that we saw there with the Porsches. Mika Hakimi takes home the win, and Kavinder Singh has taken home driver of the day in the pro class. We will have a driver of the day vote in the AM category, which will be, I think, a little bit harder to judge.
Well, we see a lot of action in pro, and we know that we're going to see more in TCR and the AM class.
Yes, absolutely. They're currently running qualifying right now. So before we head on down to the track, let's have a quick look at the top 10 in the standings there. Han An, 61 points ahead of Shami Aizan, 44, but is very close there for second place. Shami Aizan is only 3 points ahead of James Russell in third and Sharon Norafudin in fourth place. But all four drivers have a chance of winning the championship still, mathematically. But Han An, you have to say, definitely in a fantastic position there. Further down the field, we have Zainal Hazim, Shukran Mota, Muazzam Zairi, Gaskun doing fantastic this season. Wanli Kui there in 8th, Muhammad Uzair in 9th, and Abdul Ray Balagulan in 10th place.
Wow, all the drivers have done a tremendous good job, Max. You see, James Russell jumped from 6th place, if not mistaken. Now he's in the 3rd place, just because that last race that he win, and the first 2 races that he occurred incidents in that.
So yeah, he's had a very unlucky start to the championship, but he still has a chance of winning, but so do quite a few other drivers as well. We'll head on down to the track now and have a look at the action there. This broadcast brought to you by LamboPlace with their 5G guarantee. You won't go too far wrong. Do check out the offer we have in the description there. Save 12 ringgit on any purchase above 40 ringgit. Well worth it. Also, special thanks to our other sponsors, Excitix and Stratus. And this broadcast brought to you by Trumpet, along with Adrenaline Impact and Vertex Esports. And our media partners are Galeri Kereta and DSF. Terima kasih kepada semua penonton Galeri Kereta yang sudi hadir. Jangan takut nak letakkan komen di bawah. We are a bilingual team today.
Not any lah, okay? Malay and English will do.
Yeah. We're still working on our Pinoy, so on our Tagalog, so we'll work on that. Danish Iman says, congrats, Giga Chad Mika Hakimi. Absolutely brilliant race there. Mika Hakimi responding, thanks bro, you too, good race. It's nice to know that the guys have had a fantastic rapport there. They obviously had a real bit of enjoyment there throughout the course of this race there. Mika Hakimi, fantastic run there. He got a little bit weak at the end there. You can tell the car was getting a little bit slow there, but fantastic stuff to keep that win. Amahazik, good race, legendary drive by Kelvinder. What an overtake. I'm going to tell you straight up there, coming from Ayman Hazik, that means a lot there. Respect where respect is due for a lot of these drivers there. And of course, you can talk to the pro racing drivers down there in the comment section if you want to ask a question, or if you want to just say hi to your favorite drivers there. Oftentimes our drivers will be watching the stream right after the race there, so do check that out. Meanwhile, in provisional pole position right now is James Russell with a fantastic time of 146.374. And Han An in second place, very close behind, 146.391. In fact, the top 7 positions are less than 0.7 of a second apart, less than a second apart there. And in fact, the top 10, very, very close indeed. Everyone in the 2 seconds between the first and the last drivers right now. So there we go. We're going to have a quick chat right now. We've given our pit lane reporter a microphone. Good evening, Umar Aziz.
Hey, good evening, guys. Is audio okay on my side, Mr. Producer? Yep, we're good. Okay, so Budi had to step out for a moment, and here we are in the AM race.
It's a really exciting race there. I could think of 4 or 5 drivers that could win it tonight. And one of the quickest drivers we see there, Muazzam Zairi, he's got a fantastic backstory, going from like the street racing scene in AC, obviously legally, on the simulator, and then going into AC and into iRacing. Do you have any backstory as to how he's doing right now?
Yeah, I think he's doing pretty well for this track. It's not an easy track. We saw in the pro categories now, not a lot of, you can see the standings shifting about a bit compared to our last races, but in terms of Muazzam, yeah, I think he's doing quite well for himself. Also Jay Wong, one of his teammates, you could say.
Yeah,
also doing pretty well in that series.
it's wonderful to see that we're seeing drivers coming from not racing at all, going into like the lower level sims and climbing up to the upper level sims. It's almost like the FIA ladder where you go through F4, F3, F2. It's nice to see that sort of system developing here in Asia, and hopefully we'll be able to bring a few more titles to you as well. Mika Hakimi was just telling you about the tires and the struggles he had there.
Yep, you can see he's struggling with the tires. Yeah, I think we saw that with Taki as well. Yeah, I was looking from the pit lane and saw Taki in the end of the race. He had quite a number of problems there.
Yeah,
He couldn't keep the car on track.
yeah, and I think it's going to be just about the same with a front-wheel drive car around here. I think the front tires are going to have a huge hammering here at this track, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm worried for these guys for the lap 1. We saw a yellow flag last week. I think it was Zainul Hazim, if I'm not mistaken. He got taken out a bit and caused a big pile-up on aisle 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think aisles 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here are going to be real danger spots for a bit of a mess happening there as well. Jensen Chu there in 18th position. What really tickles me is that there's only 3.5 seconds between first and 19th position. So all these drivers have had plenty of time to really get to know Zandvoort. Really, really challenging track around here. Do you have any favorites, incidentally, for action?
For the turns, I'm not really good on Zandvoort. Haven't had much experience. I prefer the next race we're gonna have.
Oh,
Sebring, yeah, especially with the longer. How long are we gonna have there? 2 hours plus?
Yeah, 2.4 hours, 2 hours and 25 minutes of racing coming up, and it'll be multi-class as well. So that's going to be an interesting little run through there.
Yeah, I wonder how these newer guys are gonna. I don't think they have enough experience with multi-class racing, so it will be fun to see what these guys are gonna do on track.
Absolutely. Mind you, they did have a little bit of practice with the practice races that we've been running. We've been running those as a multi-class thing, and we've had 5 or 6 of the newer guys come in to have a look. So hopefully they'll have at least a little bit of practice, because it can be scary, especially at Sebring, having a really quick car come up behind that. Ooh, Jensen Chu getting a little bit sideways.
Yeah, we can see on this track there's a lot of camber, a lot of elevation change. Quite difficult to keep the car on track. Yeah, I think this is our last guy out
There
on the
we
track,
go.
Jasri Junus. He's also on the, what is this? Is it the Quest 2, I think?
Yeah, I think it is a quest. It's really interesting to see this new technology come into gaming in general, but also to sim racing in particular. It's super useful for a lot of the guys to be able to sight your apexes, to be able to look left, look right, and just see if there's anyone around you. Have you had much experience with VR, incidentally?
Yep, on my personal rig, I use a Oculus CV1 and all the VR setup. But yeah, especially for iRacing in general, I think with the depth perception and apex where you're looking at and everything, there's a slight bigger advantage for VR on iRacing.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how this race heads on. So we're at the end of qualifying there, and it looks like the front row of the grid's still going to be the same there. James Russell on pole position with Han An in second place. Shami Aizan is in third with Muazzam Zairi in fourth. Shahril Nurafudin in fifth. Wan Li Kui in sixth. Zainal Hazim and Abdul Hakim next to each other there, sixth and seventh places. So we're going to head on down to the grid, and this will be a standing start for this 45-minute race. James Russell in pole position there with Han An alongside him on the second row of the grid. Like I said, Shami Aizan and Muazzam Zairi. Third row, Shahril Nurafudin and Wan Li Kui. Zainal Hazim and Abdul Hakim share the fourth row of the grid with Malvinderjit Singh in ninth place and Muhammad Shukran in 10th position. Jeffrey Khan is the second of the drivers there from Brunei, with William Wong in 12th position. Quite a few Biff Racing drivers out there this evening. Leong Mun Fai and Muhammad Mohaim in 13th and 14th place, with Fred Ting and Wong Jan in 15th and 16th, making it an all Brunei third row from the back there. Just rejoined us in 17th, followed by Jensen Chu, Muhammad Alif Shauki, and Lloyd Lachlan, who did not post a lap time there. I think he will be planning on starting on the back as a bit of a tactical.
Yep. So I think there's one more person to grid up, and I think we have Budi back in the studio. I'll pass it back to you guys. I think we are going soon.
Absolutely. Been a nice talking to you. Hopefully we'll be able to maybe chat a little bit later on in the race there. So the F1 guys have Karan Chandok. We've got the race heading off now. Very quick grid up there and a very quick start indeed for the drivers there. They're going 2 wide, 3 wide towards the back there. Abdul Hakim in a very difficult position there. Oh, it looks like there's one of the Biff Racing cars. A big spin and a big hit on the wall there. Throughout there, but it looks like it's a clean getaway from the rest of the drivers there, but they're not quite out of the danger zone there, coming towards this very difficult left-hander. Big banking towards the inside of the corner there, around the outside. Hang Sharon Norafut in there, really trying hard to push the car up towards the outside there. Meanwhile, James Russell and Han An are nose to tail coming down towards the braking zone at the moment there, and you can see there Han An all over the back of the fellow Hyundai driver of James Russell. Shami Aizad further behind them. Muazzam Zairi in 4th position. He's managed to keep his position there. Sharon Norafut, fantastic start to get himself up into 5th position there. And brilliant start from everyone else there. We did have one Biff driver who is unfortunately out. Lloyd Lachlan was unable to take the start of the race there, so hopefully we'll see him in the next round. But unbelievable stuff there. I believe that was Jensen Chu that had a little bit of an impact there. Wan Li Kui is the driver that actually went around the outside there, it looked like. So brilliant stuff. Brilliant bit of driving there from Wan Li Kui to get around the outside of his rival then. Abdul Hakim did a fantastic job just keeping ahead of everyone.
Wow, Max, Wan Li Kui has conveyed a very good driving strategy there. That was absolutely ridiculously good. So now Han An and James Russell. James Russell pulled out immediately from that front pack just now.
Yep, but well, in the Porsches, pulling away is only 1.5 or maybe 2 seconds. Here it's half a second. That's just about all the gap you could possibly squeeze out of these cars in the early stages of the race there. Sharon Norafudin is in a really tricky situation right now. He's with the Hyperbulls GT team, and he's got a real hard battle behind it. That's William Wong versus Malvinderjit Singh, nose to tail there, and it looks like William Wong's managed to bridge the gap and got right back to the back of Sharon Norafudin. Mika Hakimi meanwhile commenting there on his teammate. Let's go Han. Great start indeed from Hanan. He's still in touch with the leader. That's the most important thing right now. He's obviously got an advantage in the championship, but he obviously wants to win this race. 0.3
of a second, 0.4 of a second is a really good gap between him and the first man in the pack. And now Han An is man on the mission. Tonight he wants to make it like official that I am the BSR best driver for AM right now.
Absolutely. Another driver that'll be pushing very hard for Hyperbulls in his stead. Malvinderjit Singh in the Hyundai pushing that Honda of William Wong very hard indeed through the S's here. Meanwhile, Han An just closing up now. It's now 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second. Very close indeed between himself and James Russell. The gaps will appear a little bit wider in TCR racing than it does in Porsches, but the actual distance between the two cars will be a lot closer. And they can actually draft from a lot further back because it is a bigger car, bigger aerodynamic drag factor. Meanwhile, Malvinderjit Singh, just a nice little slip up the inside there in the new section to get ahead. Meanwhile, we have all three Hyperbulls have managed to find themselves out on track. Brilliant stuff indeed. Zero Blinker, wow, that's pretty clean for 20 cars. You could say that again. We were expecting carnage, but apart from, unfortunately, with Jensen Chu, who had a rather messy start there, but everyone else managed to get past clean. No yellow flag, no full course caution, no safety car.
Well, Max, it is a TCR. We were expecting a lot of bump here and there, but well, they deserve a praise, Max.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant racing from everyone. It's not an easy track to race on, especially with a standing start there. But Malvinderjit Singh there really pushing very hard indeed. William Wong right behind him there. That's going to be the real challenge. But Abdul Hakim, again, for the second race in a row, he's doing very well at the start of the race in the little Hyundai Veloster there, pushing the fellow hatchback William Wong very hard through this section here. And you can see here how narrow the track is for these guys. Climbing up the hill and towards Shivlak, you really only have room for one car.
You know, Max, we have been talking about Abdul Hakim, Zainul, Sharin Rafuddin, and all the races in this TCR class. I bet all our viewers have seen every single action that this racer can do.
Absolutely, though. Almost jumped on my feet there. Sharon Rafuddin is trying absolutely everything right now. He is working with his teammates Zainul Hazim and Malvinderjit Singh. This is 3-on-1 and in his attempt to overtake there. But I mean, I must say, Mohamed Mohaimin, very difficult to overtake. We've seen this time and time and time again. The entire Hyperballs team are crowded behind that one Audi, but it's going to take them every single ounce of skill that they possess in order to actually get past Mohamed Mohaimin, and not all three of them I think are going to go past very easily.
Yes, but Mohaimin has a very good defensive composure and defensive line, you know. In this kind of track, a very good defensive line pays a lot. And if you make a single mistake when you are trying to be aggressive, well, you might get out of the race.
Yeah, there you have it. Meanwhile, just have to comment, Sharon Norafuddin in 7th, Zainul Hazim in 8th, Malvinderjit Singh in 9th, 7th, 8th and 9th place held by Hyperbulls. Meanwhile, Han An is not letting James Russell get away with it too easily this time around. James had a pretty fantastic win in the previous round there at Road America, but this time he's going to really put the foot down on that car and push that thing to its limits. Coming out of the corner there, hard on the throttle. It looks like Hanan a little bit quicker in some places, but James Russell a little bit quicker in others. So it's going to be very interesting how this battle pans out. And I believe, I know that around here you're going to need a pit to try and actually get some hope of getting to the end of the race. So.
Well, it's hard to say, but James Russell, Han An and Shami Aizan was actually fighting for the championship position right now. And their point, it's not at far gap. So Han An might just need to focus on getting back to the James Russell position. And Shami Aizan, Liu Meng Fai, that was really unfortunate for him.
Oh, and he's in a really difficult position right now. He has to wait for a couple of the cars to get away before he can rejoin the track there. No damage on the car there, but that's going to cost him quite a bit in terms of time. That braking zone coming towards the corner there, it leans a little bit to the left. So if you brake a little bit too hard, lock up the rear wheels, the car's going to turn left, not right. And that's going to really surprise you.
That was like, I was like, why he turned right?
It's unbelievable stuff there. You can see that Mohamed Mohaimin is having to drive to the left, to the right now in this battle between himself and the three, count them, three Hyperballs cars.
Three Lambo behind. It's not easy. It's not easy. And Mohaimin had a good understanding of how Sharin Rafuddin might overtake me. I need to close that gap earlier.
Meanwhile, this is the battle for the lead right now. James Russell still in the lead there, but Han An very close behind him, just about nose to tail through the top of the circuit there, coming through the new section here. I think James Russell might be a little bit quicker through this section, but through the old school section, through the uphill rises and falls, the high-speed sections there, you can see that Han An's got a lot of pace in that car. This race is his first race for Blue Steel Racing. Brilliant signing there, and I think he's showing Asia and the world that he definitely deserves that seat. Meanwhile, let's have a look at Abdul Hakim. Another cheeky little overtake. He's taking that same thing that he learned there from Road America, just taking all of those positions as he can, trying to go around the outside there, and just a little bit close to William Wong there, but still managing to get that position through there. So Abdul Hakim, 4 points for cheekiness.
Wow. William Wong back then was like, I my heart stopped there.
Yeah.
it's really, if that was me, I was like, okay, please. And he managed to counter back and to save that position, and he just lost a little bit of time, I think. Now Han An is still fighting with James Russell in front. Han An, well, you know that he a quite a calm kind of racer, and James Russell, he attack every single time.
Absolutely. But you can see there, they're getting closer and closer. Jeez. Muhammad Muhaimin right now is the man with the worst, hardest and most difficult job in iRacing. He's trying to keep the entirety of the Hyperbulls team behind him, and trust you me, this is one of the hardest things you can do in iRacing. I don't care who you are. You could be Max Verstappen. This is a scary, scary position right now. Danish Iman there with the comment, Audi getting Hyperbulls.
Another driver from Hyperbulls. You know that Shahrin Rafuddin, Zainul Hazim and Marvinder Jit Singh, they have been doing a great job in this season championship, and now they are trying to get Muhammad Muhaimin, also a very good driver.
Yeah, Mika Hakimi there, choo-choo train. It reminds me of Jarno Trulli. They used to call it the Trulli train. Everyone can catch Jarno Trulli, but you can't pass him. So Mika Hakimi there declaring that the train is on its way towards the checkered flag there. But brilliant stuff indeed. I expected him to get overtaken within 1 or 2 laps, but this is taking quite some time there. Wan Li Kui putting a lot of pressure there on Gascon. Muazzam Zairi there on the inside. Wan Li Kui around the outside there. Muazzam just about defending beautifully there. Wan Li Kui might get a bit of a better drag out of there, but the Honda is really, really good in the acceleration phase, just coming out of the corner there. So you can see there that Muazzam's able to defend quite effectively there, but Wan Li Kui is putting a lot of pressure right now. He wants to have a decent go at it. Mohammed Shukran, meanwhile, going out there, taking names and going just around the outside of Jeffrey Conn there. Not quite able to make that move stick the first time, but coming towards this section there. He's still on the outside. Will he switch to the inside? Nope. Will we switch the outside? No, not quite able to do it. Brilliant defensive driving there from Jeffrey Conn, but Shukran trying every single which way but blue to overtake Jeffrey Conn there, and finally he tries going towards Shivlak. I'm not sure if he's actually going to make it here. We're still looking at the replay between Jeffrey Conn and Mohammed Shukran. Hard on the brakes there, diving in onto the inside there, and coming up towards the exit here. He's got to be able to overtake on the next corner here. Hard on the brakes, around the inside to the outside. Jeffrey has to defend a little bit, slows it down a little bit, tries to defend again on the inside. Is this one defense too much? You can see how fast he's gone in there, and Shukran manages to finally get in alongside there for the overtake and claim that position. If you thought it was easy to overtake one of these drivers out there, Shukran just giving us a nice demonstration. It took him half a lap, or at least 2.2 kilometers in order to try and overtake that driver. If you think 2.2 kilometers not that much, try overtaking. Oh, big mistake there from Han An. He got the car very sideways under the brakes there, just a little bit dancing on the brakes there, and he's off the track right now. We need to see a replay of that. Not too sure what happened in that moment there.
He touched a little bit of that gravel, Mac. Just a little bit of that gravel, and that happened.
Unbelievable stuff. Meanwhile, Mohammed Muhaimin has passed the scene of the accident. Sharon Rafuddin, Zainul Hazim and Malvinder Jit Singh have gone past 6th, 7th, 8th. This has big implications in the championship. Of course, we all know Han An has a huge lead in the championship, but if he's not taking home that many points this time around, James Russell has a chance of getting closer. Chami Aizan has a chance of getting closer. And as you can see, the unbelievable stuff. Danish Iman there with the comment, oh no. Mika Hakimi, obviously not the happiest bunny, I would imagine, in the room. Unbelievable stuff there. We'll see if we could get a replay of that incident, but that has championship changing changing consequences.
Wow, Max, that was really unfortunate. This is what happened between...
Just got the car on the gravel there. He tried to go on the inside, bailed out, went on the outside, went a little bit too far, got the left-hand tires on the gravel, and when you get 2 tires on the gravel there, it can be very difficult indeed. Our hearts definitely go out to Han there. Meanwhile, Afik Fadlan, the team leader in effect of Hyperbulls for this championship, moo. The Bulls are definitely mooing quite angrily behind Muhammad Muhaimin there. Of course, it's absolutely Muhaimin's prerogative and right to try and block all three of these drivers right now, but as you can see there, Afik Fadlan also commenting on the incident. A pinch of the grass, and there goes Han An. Unfortunate. Ooh, bit of a touch there. It looks like both drivers there, that was Sharon Orofuddin and Muhammad Mohaimin, going a little bit too fast into that corner there. Would like to see a replay of that, but somehow, unbelievably, Mohaimin still in 5th place. How is he keeping that Audi ahead of three really very fast Hyundais? I have no idea.
Max, the beauty of TCR just has been shown there. This is the show of how beauty TCR can get. And now Sharinafuddin is still trying to get Muhammad Muhaimin in front. And he is close as you can see right now.
Whoa, you couldn't get any closer there. Sharon Orofuddin still can't see the way in there. Mohaimin closing the door, as is his right, but Sharon is going to dive down on the inside here. They're going to touch just a little bit as they go around the outside there. Can Mohaimin do anything around here? Unbelievably, he can, I think. He's managed to defend from 3 Hyperbulls drivers. Unbelievable driving here. This is the sensation of the race. Muhammad Mohaimin keeping the Hyperbulls team behind him. Unbelievable. How did he keep all 3 of them behind right now? They are chopping, they're changing positions, they're trying to throw every single tactic they can. The only way they can get past Mohaimin is if they send 3 cars side by side into the corner all at once.
Wow. How could he make it like that? Mohaimin, now this is our nominees for the driver of the day for sure.
Oh, that is guaranteed. I think
he has done a great job.
Normally we keep them secret before we put them up, but I'm just going to let you know Muhammad Mohaimin's going to be one of them for driver of the day. The best defensive driving I've seen in years. Coming down towards the braking zone here, it looks like he's just got a little bit of a gap now. He could breathe. He probably hasn't breathed yet for about, he hasn't taken a breath in 2 laps there, so at least he's going to get some oxygen in there. I probably won't with the way this battle is going there. And oh, look at that Sharon Orofuddin going on the inside, going on the outside, filling up those mirrors, just putting as much pressure as possible on the Audi driver. But Mohaimin takes it like a sponge, and he's still going up to it. Now coming up towards Shivlak. This is where the patience comes in. This is where the racecraft comes in. Will he be able to hold his nerve going through one of the fastest corners here on the track? Dives in on the inside, downhill, uphill. Charlotte's going to go on the outside, on the inside. Not quite able to get the pace to overtake there. Brilliant driving so far from Muhammad Mohaimin, but also brilliant driving from Sharon Orofuddin as well. He's not letting up. He's not giving an inch to that Audi driver. As you can see there, Mika Hakimi is saying, Mohaimin, Malaysia's Minister of Defence.
Yo, that was good. That was good.
One of these days, we're going to need Mika Hakimi to come into the studio and commentate on one of these guys.
Mohaimin, 1 versus 3. Exactly that, what we are talking about. He has been fighting for more than 5 laps, Max.
Unbelievable stuff.
Wow. How hard can it be?
Well, as you can see there, perhaps the hardest thing possible for both parties now, because Hyperbulls, the more they fight with Mohaimin, as you can see now, it's a 12-second gap between himself and the leaders right now. There's an empty stretch of tarmac ahead of Mohaimin. But of course, Mohaimin doesn't have to give up the position. There's no rule stating that. He is perfectly within his rights to keep all 3 cars behind him for as long as possible, and it's in his interest. And the Hyperbulls team knows that, so they're going to have to try something to overtake them. Hopefully, they manage to get past cleanly, because at this rate, it looks like it's going to a situation where one of them is going to make a mistake. There's an incredible amount. And guess what? Abdul Hakim and Muhammad Shukran has decided to join the party. So now there's 3 Hyperbulls, 1 driver from Brunei, and Shukran, who, let's face it, is not exactly a slow driver or a calm driver by any stretch of the imagination. This has just turned into a party. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rolls Royce of midfield battles running around here. other luxury car brands are available.
Midfield battle at its finest right now in this track. Max, I was expecting that TCR will make a lot of risky move and a lot of risky overtake and so on, but no, they didn't do it. They keep on a very good line and they keep on surviving from time to time, and we can see that from what happened between Muhammad Mohaimin, Shadirafuddin, Mavinajit Singh and Zainul Hazim. Now Abdul Hakim and Muhammad Shukran has been into the fight. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's only 1 second between Abdul Hakim and Muhammad Shukran there. Meanwhile, we'll have a look at this battle between William Wong and Fred Ting right now. Sorry, that's Jeffrey Conn up ahead. I do apologize. Jeffrey Conn versus William Wong. Williams improving by leaps and bounds over his course of his trial at iRacing here. We can see he's very close to the back of Jeffrey Conn. I think we might be able to see an overtaking maneuver, something that the cars up ahead there have not been able to do so far. Okay, so let's see there. Jeffrey Conn defends on the inside. That's a very smart maneuver there. William Wong's going to try and go around the outside. This is full-on BTCC style driving there. Not quite able to carry the speed around the corner there, but a valiant effort there from William Wong. Coming down towards the braking zone here. Can he do anything through here? No. Beautiful defending there by Jeffrey Conn, making sure he's got his options open. He drove that car to the center of the track to make sure he covers all his bases there. But coming back to what you said there, it's absolutely brilliant because these guys are driving like they're in the World Touring Car Championship. Unbelievable, clean, very close. Yes, there's going to be a bit of contact, but that's touring cars, you know.
Well, Max, we can see the difference between GT3 and TCR right now in this track. For GT3, a very late braking, it doesn't cost you much time. But with this car, you do a little bit of late braking or too much brake, you will lose a lot of time. You have no power to go on. That is the main issue right now. And Muazzam Zairi now is behind us. Shami Aizan in 0.5 gap. That was not that far, Max.
Yeah, I mean, Muazzam Zairi, what can we say? Fantastic job there from Gascon throughout the course of this championship. And I think this is his best drive yet. He has a little bit of pressure from Wally Kui behind him, but I think Muazzam might have a chance of getting past Shami Aizan. He's in the podium positions here right now, and this is brilliant stuff. 0.4 of a second there between himself and Shami Aizan. Meanwhile, Zainal Hazim has gone into the pits. Here's the great part here. Now the Hyperbulls guys can pit each one of their cars for each lap after this, and I think they're going to have to do something like that. This is very close to the midpoint of the race there. One of these three Hyperbulls drivers have gone into the pits now. Now it's just Sharul Norafuddin and Malvinderjit Singh who's trying to put Mohaimin in, trying to get past Mohaimin somehow. If I was Mohaimin, I'd pit next.
Okay, Vex, but do you know that Mohaimin get 9th place up since the first start of the race? He was at 14th place.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at Muhammad Mohaimin's start there. What a start! Brilliant stuff there. Does that car have four-wheel drive or what? He's managed to get past one Hyperbulls, two Hyperbulls, and diving down into the corner there, he's managed to sneak his way around that number 6 car and on his way towards that number 15. That was perhaps one of the best starts I've ever seen in a long time. These TCR cars are notorious for being hard to start. It is a standing start formula, but Muhammad Mohaimin just made it look so easy.
This is what we call a driver of the day, Max.
Absolutely.
That launch was just good.
Fantastic.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant
He
stuff.
just the whole sea of cars just parted ways and he went up the middle there. Brilliant stuff. Mika give you there. That start should be illegal by law. What a crime.
That was threading the needle. That's literally threading the needles, Oh my god, that was really good.
Unbelievable stuff there. Muhammad Mohaimin decides to go into the pits there. Ooh, that was a little bit too fast into the pits. He had to do that, unfortunately, but that looks like it's going to be a bit of damage that he's going to take there. unfortunate stuff there. It's a bit of a difficult pit lane entry, but that's unbelievable stuff indeed. Mohammed Mohammed picking up quite a bit of damage there. I'm not too sure if there's fast repair or not. I don't think there is. So that's just really crushed Mohammed's chances.
Wow, oh my god, that was really unfortunate for him. He has been a very good driver since the start, and that happened when he tried to get to the pit. Oh my god.
Not only was he the only person in the pits, there's a whole bunch of other drivers that have gone into the pits here, and this is going to be critical because this is half the field in the pits right now. And oh god, Mohammed,
that broke my heart, Max. That broke my heart. Oh my god.
It reminded me of Gilles Villeneuve's drive in 1981 at the Spanish Grand Prix, where he managed to hold up 6 cars to win the race. That was something very, very special there from Mohammed. Still, I think definitely driver of the day material there, but that pit lane entry can catch a lot of people out.
Well, yeah, the pit entry was a bit narrow, I think.
Muazzam there having a problem in the pits at the moment. That's going to be really heartbreaking there for him because he had a fantastic run all the way through there. Now our race leader is in the pits. James Russell heads into the pits there, followed by Shami Aizan and Wan Liqui. The top 3 are in right now. Danish Iman is thinking what we're all thinking. Oh no.
We was like, oh my god, I lost my word. Muazzam, what happened to you? Gaskun, what happened?
Mika Hakimi again.
No, yes.
No way. Unbelievable stuff there. The luck that people are having right now. Sharon Norafuddin, Malvinderjit Singh and Mohammad Shukran are in the pits there. William Wong is heading into the pits. These guys will be as well. This is the other half of the drivers heading into the pits at the moment. James Russell heads out. He's still in the lead of the race. Shami Aizan in second place. Wan Liqui still in third position, but the gaps are a lot closer now, and they could have a chance if they can get up on the pace there. Shami Aizan, very quick driver, as we know, has the potential to win the championship. Wan Liqui, very quick as well, but Sharon Norafuddin, Malvinderjit Singh, and all the rest of the drivers there, I think they can. First of all, they can breathe a sigh of relief that Mohammed Mohammed is no longer ahead of him. But I think all of us fans at home and us in the studio, our heart goes out to him.
Yeah, it is a really heartbreaking. You have seen a very good race and very good composure and so on. But when it comes to the pit stops, a simple mistake. That was a really simple mistake. He just over the speed, and then things happen. But yeah, all the best to Mohammed Mohammed. 1 lap behind. He gonna be a lot longer in that pit, I think.
Yeah, he's still in the pits right now. He's gone 1 lap down. Han An, meanwhile, he's showing on our screens that he's actually managed to get out of the race there. Oh, look at that. He's had quite a bit of trouble there. He's had to back the car up in the pits. Let's have a look at his entry there. He lets the 2 cars pass there. He dives into the pits and just overdoes it into the barriers there. A little bit too quick entry into the pits.
He
there.
lost his brake.
Yeah.
He lost his brake. Oh, but that was not good. Okay, now we are back to Wan Liqui. He is fighting with Shami Aizan right now.
And of course we have Sharon Norafuddin, who's caught up with Zainal Hazim and Malvinderjit Singh. Hyperbulls now are 4, 5 and 6. They're all back together again.
What
One
now?
big happy family. But I can tell you one thing. I do know that Hyperbulls' policy is to not have 2 big two of the big things. Mika Hakimi there. The 2 people I supported have crashed out. I have an idea. Go Hyperbulls.
Okay, which one? We got so many Hyperbulls in the track right now. You know, this is a Hyperbule party. 3 cars, 3 trains of Hyperbulls.
Well, he's a good sport about it, but I know that Mika Hakimi must be feeling a little bit annoyed by that. But then again, James Russell in the lead of the race. Han An is in 17th position. It's not going to be too good for him in the championship, but on the other hand, he has that buffer. So Han An is not out of the championship by any stretch of the imagination. So he can come back and he can try and win that final round of the championship there. Meanwhile, Shami Aizan is battling with Wan Liqui here. He's got a Hyperbulls ahead of him, and he's got, I think, 3 Hyperbulls behind him.
Yeah. This is a Hyperbule sandwich incoming.
Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting for Wan Liqui. There is, of course, a 16-second gap between himself and Zainal Hazim.
Lembu Hyper. That was good. Lembu Hyper.
But I think Hyperbulls have stolen the show as a team here. Brilliant driving from all the drivers throughout there. But it's the first time I've seen a team drive more like a football team with no one driver having any sort of starring role, but everyone working as a hive mind there. I think if you see these guys out in any of the official races, you might want to steel yourself a bit and really prepare yourself.
You know, last race it doesn't look good for them. Zainul and Mavinderjit Singh got a little bit of incident and they have to pull out of the race. But this race they have been doing just a great job. 29 minutes in the race and we have 15 minutes left here, Max.
Absolutely, the race is starting to mellow down just a little bit there, but as we can see there, our pit lane reporter Umar Aziz just reporting to us that James Russell right now, his pace is absolutely flying coming out of the pits there, so he's definitely perhaps made a couple of tweaks there, made sure the car is good coming out of the pits, and now he's got a 5.4 second lead right now between himself and Shame Aiza. Look at him throwing the car around the track there. 15 minutes to go. All he has to do is keep his nerve, hold his nerve, and he might just take this home, but never say never.
I don't want to talk about anything about that. You know what happened, right?
You've heard about our commentators' curse.
No, it's not that good. But now Shami Aizan is a 5 second behind, and James Russell, he might have a very good, comfortable race right now.
So there you have it. Brilliant racing so far from all of the drivers here.
Well, I guess Zainul Hazim, Sharan Rafuddin and Mavinderjit Singh have done a tremendous good job here. Well, you know that they have been fighting for position and throughout the whole race.
And you gotta give it up to Abdul Hakim, now up into 8th position right now. Now I think we're gonna have to do something a little bit strange here because we've got the sheet here for driver of the day, and of course the commentator's favorite. I'm going to make a special exception.
Yeah, that's good, man. Abdul Hakim has done a good job also. But since the first start, we haven't seen the camera off this Hyperbulls team. Yeah. They are keep on going on and on and on, and still they are fighting together. And they was like, hey, who gonna be first? Hey, let me go first lah. Let me go first. I bet that's why his Discord in about, you know.
So there we go. We're gonna hand our little nomination sheets in there, and really brilliant stuff right now in the races. But coming down towards the corner here, Wadli Kui is really pushing Shami Haizan quite hard there, and
there you go. He is 2 seconds behind.
So yeah, in any case, coming down towards the grid there, we have James Russell now in first place, Shami Haizan in second place, and perhaps the driver with the biggest challenge right now, Wan Li Kui. He has one more position that he could possibly get there. He needs to try and make a move now between himself and Shami Haizan, and it's going to be very, very difficult.
And behind him is actually Han An.
Yes.
Han An trying to
unlap himself.
Unlap himself. I thought they were going for a pit. I was like, wait, but why? But
That's
why?
A little bit dramatic there, coming through the corner there. Hard on the brakes through this corner here, and well, you have to say that the rear brakes are glowing away as they go through these opening corners here. Only quit 2/10 of a second, 3/10 of a second. I think he could actually take this position.
He has been in this position for more than 3 laps, so I think he are waiting for the opportunities to overtake the Shami Aizan. But we know that both drivers have a very good similar pace, and Shami Aizan is a fast racer, and he is one of the contending champion for the championship right now.
coming through Shiflak here, coming into the braking zone there. You can see it's now defense time for Shami Aizan. Shami Aizan very good on the defense, but Wan Likui is also equally as good in attack. And looking around the inside, around the outside there, you could just hear the pop of the anti-lag as the cars go around the corner there. Hard on into the corner there. I think he's going to have to wait. He's going to have to just be a little bit patient. He'd get on that start-finish straight before he could do any maneuvers. Of course, if there's any mistake from Shami Aizan, Wan Likui is going to take it.
That is the problem, Max. Right now, we have around 10 minutes left. And if Wan Likui want to do anything, he need to do it now. I mean, like, he might have a chance if Shami Aizan make a little mistake, but hoping for that is not gonna work. We have to find a, like I said earlier, they have been driving in a very safe kind of pace, a very safe kind of line, you know. You're Kevin Singh there, Hyperboles Lingam.
I tell you what, their Hyperboles, they've helped the community quite a lot over the course of the years there, and you can tell they are fan favourites. They've made a fan out of Mika Hakimi, who's technically their rivals.
Yeah.
It's okay. Han, meanwhile, he's actually managed to get himself up to the 16th position there. He's quite far away from the points, but I think he'd be ruining that mistake, diving on the inside, on the outside there, just getting caught out in the grass. That's the tricky part there.
Well, Max, when you are driving, you don't really know where is your tire. So when it hit that point, it's hard for you to counter back. Don't you say
We have a problem with commentators' curses here.
Wow, I know that is one of the things that I don't really like to mention, right? Because every time that we see something, things happen. And
for those of you who are wondering, the green screen table in the studio is in fact made out of wood. We have it specially made just so that we can say we can knock on wood. But there you have it. This battle is really quite interesting indeed. Wan Likui doing a very good job there of just keeping the pace on from Shami Aizan. Further back there, we have this little battle going on between Zainal Hazim and Malvinderjit Singh as well.
There you go. We have the M category of driver of the day right now confirmed. For the first, we have James. The nomination, the vote is on.
Absolutely. So the vote is for James Russell, Sharil Norafuddin, Mohaimin, and Abdul Hakim. And I almost could tell which one's going to be the favourite out of those four.
Well, I feel bad for Mohaimin, but I really want to see the result from that. Oh my God, he has been absolutely stunning from 14th place up to 5th place, Max. That was not an easy job to do.
Yeah, win, lose or draw, he's fought well.
Oh my
he
God.
has fought well there, and brilliant defense as well all throughout the race there. Sharil Norafuddin incidentally was nominated because I have been told quite firmly by the producers that we can't nominate Hyperboles.
we want to give them, okay, this is the whole team. Just give them the whole team. That strain. Oh, Max, from the first start,
Yeah.
that strain has been like that.
Yep, absolutely. So there's only Wan Likui between Shami Aizan, Sharil Norafuddin, Zainal Hazim and Malvinderjit Singh, and all four of them driving very well indeed. But you have to say props to Sharil Norafuddin in particular, because he really did take the lead in that attack with Mohaimin. Brilliant racing indeed from all of those guys there. Wan Likui still not quite able to catch up there. Still too close to call though.
Max, this race has been like not a TCR at all.
Yeah.
You know how aggressive TCR can be.
These
But-
guys are running like a really exciting open wheel race.
Yeah. That was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. This track is not that easy. We know that, we know that. But well, seeing a TCR taking a very safe and steady line, that's weird for us.
Yeah, but unbelievable stuff indeed. Meanwhile, for those of you enjoying the race, you have a chance to save some money. Get 12 ringgit off with a minimum purchase of 40 bucks by clicking on the link to shop at using the code LBPER12. That's LBPER12 from the 25th of March to the 29th of April 2022. So this code limited to 500 people. So check that link down there in the comments for your chance to win. A special giveaway there from LamboPlace with their 5G guarantee. You can't go wrong. Muazzam Zairi there, unfortunate for him, he had a little bit of problem in the pits there. He was up into 3rd place at one point. Another brilliant drive there from Gascon. You get a feeling that one of these days it's all going to come together and he's going to be on the podium there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice driving there to try and squeeze around Jeffrey Conn. He's had to go on the gravel there. Oh, spoke too soon there. Looks like they got a little bit close in that on the way coming towards the inside of the corner there. Muazzam had to take to the grass, and unfortunately when you take to the grass at that section, you're off the track.
That
Ouch.
was ouch. He collect Jeffrey Conn on the way.
Yikes.
Oh my god.
Jeffrey Conn there with quite a bit of damage to that Hyundai. The driver from Brunei definitely got...
Oh my god. He
wasn't planning on that, let's put it that way. Let's have a look there. That was the drive from Sharon Orfudin just getting a little bit too close. That was when the Hyperbulls drivers were really looking for every single possible opportunity to get past that Audi. And they've tried everything. I can confirm they've tried absolutely everything. And that was the little impact from Muazzam Zairi there. Let's have a look there. He went a little bit wide here. Jeffrey Conn tries to avoid him, but when you're on the grass there, you hit the brakes and the car just turns right. There's nothing much you could do.
It's hard.
there.
It's really hard for Jeffrey Conn to back off at that point of time.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
already hard on the brakes there. You
Yeah.
can't slow down any faster.
That is the slowest I can get right now.
Very unlucky there, but he's still in 15th place. He might be able to get the car to the end. It's only 5 minutes left. I'm not sure if it'll even be worth getting into the pits there. He might lose 1 or 2 positions there. Yasuri Junos at the back.
I don't think that's a good idea, Max. He just need to finish this race. I mean, like, it's 5 minutes left. If you go into the pit, you might
not finish the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately Muazzam Zairi has to go into the pits. He's being towed there right now. Bad luck for Muazzam. Hopefully we wish him a little bit better luck in the next race. Meanwhile, as I was saying, the other great thing about Hyperbulls is no team orders when they're battling amongst themselves, and you could really show off what this team is famous for, and that's their racecraft. There's Zainal Hazim and Malvinderjit Singh having a nice little close run together there. And you could tell this is almost like practice for them. Malvinderjit will be looking to the left, looking to the right, and looking all the way through the track there. Race Control says that on lap 22 there is a report of an incident between car 24 and 21, and it will be investigated
That is
right now.
what happened between Muazzam Zairi and Jeffrey Conn just now.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be too surprised there that there's an investigation going on. It was a fairly big impact between those two drivers there, so the stewards are going to have a look at it. Wan Li, meanwhile, he's still trying to look for a way around Shami Aizan. He's managed to close up the gap, if you could believe that you can close up the gap any more than what you can see right now. And Han An sitting behind there, I think it's good for him to run there, seeing that he is in 16th place. He is 3 laps down, but he's just showing that yes, he has the pace to be in the podium positions there. And just trying to sort of get a little bit of recompense to the mistake he made earlier in the race there. Really unfortunate though.
That is the spirit that we want actually, Max. You know, I know I got the pace, but I made a mistake. Then we just need to go back and restart everything. And then this is what he are trying to do right now.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. There's that never say die attitude that really marks out a champion in my book. No point quitting when there's still 4 tires on the car and still half a chance that the thing will go fairly quick down the track there. So, but meanwhile, Wan Li Kui still having a look. Shami Aizan still putting up a reasonably solid defense, and Shami Aizan using his best defensive weapon there, and that's his pace. he could just get the traction going around here right now.
And we can see the same pace for these cars because they are using the same car. 3 of them, same car. This is Hyundai Elantra, I think.
Yeah, and I just got a report there from our pit lane reporter Umar Aziz, who's just said that he has a theory that Han An has decided to join this battle at the back and just photobomb it to get as much publicity for BSR as he can.
That was actually a good idea.
Absolutely.
Now, Wan Lee Q, he has 1 minute left, Max.
Mm-hmm. This could be the last lap of the race right now. In fact, we're having a look at where James Russell is right now at the top of the field there, with 30 seconds to go. I believe this would be the final lap of the race. Incidentally, James Russell not putting a foot wrong there, 12.9 seconds ahead of Shamir Aizan, with Wan Lee Kui in 3rd position there. So fantastic driving from James. Didn't put a foot wrong and absolutely dominated.
James Russell have made a very good job here in this track. He was like dominating all the way from the first lap, Max. And now 13 second gap. That was a long way. You can see how long it is from this side of the maps on the right side of the stream.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole straight between that final straight and the final quarter there. So this could be the last quarter of the race. We think the checkered flag will be shown and he comes across the line. Your winner here for the AB category in Zandvoort is James Russell. Brilliant stuff indeed. Jay
Wow, that was good.
Perfect timing, Jay. I have to give it to you.
Oh my god, that was good. I want to have your baby, James Russell. That was good.
James, for the record, he said it, not us. Shamir Aizan comes home in 2nd place. A very close, very tense battle there, but it looks like Shamir Aizan managed to take it from Wan Lee Kui in 3rd position. Sharon Norafuddin comes home in 4th, with Zainul Hazim in 5th, and Malvinderjit Singh in 6th position. The Hyperbulls team really bouncing back strong, to say the least. Through here. Muhammad Shukran comes home in 7th place. Another good drive from him. He's had a little cheeky look here and there. Brilliant stuff.
They're taking a photo here.
Absolutely. I would. I absolutely would.
Oh, wait, we finished the race together, guys. Let's take photo.
I mean, let's just have a look at this replay here. Muhammad Mohaimin, brilliant start. And you can see that just sometimes it all just works out for you.
Wow, Max, this start is very, very good. He gained so much space there, and everybody was like, I'm giving you space, just go.
Yeah.
I don't care, just go.
Don't mind me, I'm gonna carry on. You guys stay over there, I'm just gonna keep going.
And he kept going till now, you see.
Yep.
Oh my god, that was a brilliant race, but
unbelievable stuff there. Malvinderjit Singh and Shamir Aizan there. I think the whole Hyperbulls team, they are still looking for that mythical photo opportunity there. We don't have a team's championship, but you have to say that these guys have done a great job. James Russell there, being congratulated by Iman Danish. Fantastic work there. Afiq Fadlan, congrats to the finishers. And brilliant stuff indeed. In the zero blinker there, nice one, mate. James, brilliant race actually from himself. You can't take anything away from James Russell. Didn't put a foot wrong, did everything perfectly well.
It has been a good race for James since the last round, Max. The first 2 rounds is just hectic for him, but last round he made it, and this round he dominated.
Absolutely, and with Han An out of the points there, that's really thrown the championship wide open. Shamir Aizan also in with a chance there. Sharon Rofuddin and the whole Hyperbulls team there. Again, the driver of the day vote still on right now. So we're going to leave the track there as they're taking pictures right now, MotoGP style.
That was okay. We line up, then we take photo tau.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we can
Okay.
So we're just having a quick double check right now, and we can we confirm? We can confirm that Mohimin has in fact got driver of the day with 38% of the vote. That's how close it is.
Wow. Well, Max, Mohimin deserved that driver of the day, but incident happened in race.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just... That pit lane entry is going to haunt him for quite some time. And it is a very difficult pit lane entry, to be fair to him. The car is quite wide, the pit lane very narrow, and he was basically trying to keep pace with the TCR cars as he was heading into the pits there, but very unfortunate stuff.
Sometimes the brake doesn't work. That's what happened. But that was heartbreaking for us, and
heartbreaking for us and late breaking for Mohimin there,
Ouch.
but he definitely deserves that driver of the day. Fantastic start. He made that car look like it was a four-wheel drive rally car off the start line, and brilliant racing all throughout. So that's going to be it from all of the racing here at Zandvoort, and brilliant stuff indeed. But of course we have Twin Ring Motegi next. What a track this is. The elevation changes are superb. Anybody who's watched MotoGP will know that the Japanese Grand Prix is such a huge event. The Japanese Motorcycle Grand Prix.
who chose this track, Max?
Wow. I may have watched a couple of races.
That was like, okay, we have to put something big for them, so we go with Motegi.
Yeah.
This is what happened. But Motegi is a very, very brilliant track.
It has something for everyone there. This could be the last regular season round of the championship. So this is the last chance for everyone to try and get themselves in championship contention before the big finale at Sebring. Multi-class, 2.4 hours of Sebring. That's what we're going to do to round out the championship. But before then, we've got some exciting sprint racing happening at Twin Ring Motegi. I can't wait. Can you?
Max, the Motegi is really good, but Sebring hype is real, Max. If you ask me, 2.4 hours in Sebring, that was absolutely a mayhem. And we have a multi-class race, 2.4 hours. Sebring. Well, everything can go right there.
Everything can go right, everything can go wrong, and anything can happen, and it will.
Oh yeah, I do agree with that.
So that's going to be it for us here in the studio. It's been brilliant talking to you guys. Do remember to share the stream. This has been a fantastic race. I think this is easily one of the best races I've ever had the pleasure of commentating.
We have a lot of content there.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of content there.
We have a whole bunch. I can see your notes from here, and I think you need a third page pretty soon. So that was absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. But that's going to be it for our program. Special thanks, and I really do mean it, special thanks to all the drivers who've made this one of the best races I think you'll ever see on the iRacing platform. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys have made our lives so easy.
I do agree with Max. We just need to see like, okay, that happened and this happened and that happened.
Yep, the drama, the battles, and the action speak for themselves. So special thanks to drivers. Special thanks to our sponsors, LamboPlace, with their 5G guarantee. You will not go wrong. Remember that code still active even after the stream ends. So do head on over and check out that pinned comment for your chance to save 12 ringgit. And of course, a special thanks to our other sponsors, Stratus and Excitix, along with our media partners, Galeri Kereta and Drive Safe and Fast. Special thanks to all of them for enabling us to put on this fantastic event. And a special thanks to our organizers, Trumpet, Adrenaline Impact, and Vertex Esports as well. And again, that's going to be it from us, from our producer Kara Alang and our director Umar Aziz, and from all of the staff here. It's a very special thank you from myself, Max Palmer, and from Budi.
Thank you, Max. Oh my god, this is a very good race. So we see you next week, I think.
Yep, I can't. If this race was good, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Bye for now. Ta-ra.
LamboPlace